Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Empower Field at Mile High. I'm Scotty Gange. Despite winning by 21 points last week, Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton had about 14 problems after the game, and none of them had to do with what happened on the field. In other words, it's the preseason for everybody. Sean then later this week said that it's about 17 issues that he's having right now. Stuff like the fact that there was a jazz fest near their team hotel. Stuff like that there's new interns, and they're all getting everything warmed up. So, Steve and Ryan, you know what? These interns, the new guys on the Broncos are trying to figure it all out, and we'll see if he has a shorter list of grievances this week.
Coaches love that, when you can win a game and still be angry and be able to coach up your team. That works out perfectly for Coach Payton. Back down to the sideline, and Cynthia Freeland.
Well, I can barely hear you because there's so much fun going on down here, but 3 takeaways from last game that we want to have a look at. Number 1, the 34 air yard touchdown connection between Jarrett Stidham and Trent Sherfield had the lowest catch probability in the game. It was sub 20%. That's great for chemistry. And as for Nick Bonito, those 4 quick pressures, which means they happened in under 2.5 seconds. One of them turned into a sack, and he has an average of 1.95 seconds. That is extremely fast. And my favorite stat of the whole game, the wide receivers. 7 Broncos had at least 6.3 yards of separation. And you know how many of the Niners pass catchers did? Exactly 0.
The big goose egg, Cynthia Freeland on the field. So we've got next-gen stats on this next-gen night. The gen being different, it's generation.
Aye.
All the young people here in the stadium tonight, youth participation night to night. Arizona won the toss. They will receive, and it will be a touchback, and the Cardinals will take over. 1st down and 10. We will not see Kyler Murray tonight. None of the starters expected to go for Arizona, much like the way the Broncos will play it. We will see the veteran Jacoby Brissett in his 10th year out of North Carolina State. They wanted to have a veteran just in case. Clayton Tune will see the majority of the game tonight. He'll back up Brissett.
Brissett's a pro quarterback. He's really built a phenomenal career, played in multiple systems, so he's looking to be successful tonight and show the rest of the NFL he can play.
From the Arizona 35, Brissett out of the gun. Hands off to Michael Carter. Carter off the left side, able to pick up 3. Jordan Jackson, first tackle of the night for the Broncos. Tonight's players to watch are sponsored by Empower. Get good at money so you can be a little bad. Invest well at empower.com.
Well, it starts with Clayton Tune. You're going to see him later on tonight at quarterback. And then Xavier Weaver. Shout out Sco Buffs, CU grad. And then Andre Bocelli. You got to put him in there. You got to play well if your name is Andre Bocelli.
He's been around the block too, as well. Some veterans in there for Arizona. Quick toss out to the right. Able to complete. It is Bocelli. And it looks like he has 1st down yardage. Needed the 7, and he got him. Check out some more players to watch. Brought to you by Empower on the defense for the Broncos.
Justin Cernat really having an excellent camp. Probably his best camp as a pro. Jordan Jackson, Air Force Academy graduate, made the first tackle of the night. And then Q Robinson, he gets better every time he touches the field.
Cardinals have it just shy of midfield, out beyond their 45-yard line. Carter stays in the backfield. Inside handoff to Carter, and he has met the backfield and swung around. Stop back at the 40, Jonah Ellis. Big stop. Tackle for loss.
Jonah Ellis coming off the bottom of your screen here, 52, fights through what they call traffic, hits 2 different offensive players for the Cardinals, and then makes the tackle. What an excellent young player Jonah Ellis is turning out to be for the Broncos.
We'll watch those backup spots behind Bonito and Cooper tonight, the outside linebackers. Ellis had a pretty good game in Santa Clara too, made some plays.
His father was our pastor for the Super Bowl 50 season. And Jonah Ellis had a fantastic career out of Utah and has only gotten better every single opportunity the Broncos have given him. He plays the run, I think, better than any of the defensive ends on the roster. And he really gives you some depth behind Cooper and Bonito.
That's Hayden Connor, who is down for Arizona. Rookie center out of Texas, and a 6th-round draft pick. While he's being attended to, some of Ryan's keys to the game, sponsored by Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today, only at your Colorado Hyundai dealers.
First, you have to do it again. You may have had a great first preseason game, felt real good. You get to the locker room, coach says you got to do it again. Otherwise, it's a fluke. or is it a fact? Next, start fast. This is something on both sides of the football that Coach Payton talked about, and you want to finish strong like they did last week. And lastly, each and every player on the field right now wants to secure their job. Go out and secure your job by playing well and focusing on the opportunity each down at a time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Isn't something missing from that list? You always finish with
stay healthy.
Healthy.
You know, this is a big game. I know a lot of people say the starters aren't playing, but this is a huge game for your depth and how successful you will be in the NFL. So health is wealth, and you got to go and get your job.
Connor goes off slowly for Arizona. We'll watch for that after the loss on the tackle for loss by Jonah Ellis. Cards are backed up, 2nd down and 15 from their 41. Sincere Haynesworth has checked in, replacing Hayden Connor. And here's Brissett to throw. Has good time, pump to the left, and rolling to the right and throwing on the run. And just behind his intended target, wanted Xavier Weaver, the 2nd-year player out of Colorado. Looked like it was just behind him, and Weaver could not hang on.
Fantastic play call by the Cardinals. You got the play action. Everybody bites, and then the tight end comes back in on the left of your screen to really give that corner to Brissett. Just delivering the football on the run. Tough throw to make. Again, the preseason is where you want to get these kinks out, really learn, okay, when I'm throwing on the run, I want to lead the receiver a little more.
3rd and 15. See what the Broncos dial up here. Try to set up the screen, and it's dropped. Looks like it'll go incomplete. Tajon Palmer was the intended target for Jacoby Brissett, but the Broncos were ready for that, and it's 4th down.
The defense there stopped the run on that drive, as well as forcing that punt coming up. That's total defense, and you love seeing your twos get in there and do that early in the game.
Looking at Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon in his 3rd year after great success, defensive coordinator with the Eagles, now running things here for the Cardinals. Blake Gillikin is back to punt, standing at his own 26. Courtney Jackson had 4 returns for touchdowns in college. They angle it away from him, and that's a gorgeous punt. Will they spot it at the 1 or the 2 or the 3?
For all you watching with your significant other, that's what you tell your significant other. Hey, this is what I did when I met you. I downed it inside the 5.
It's a 56-yard punt. First possession for the Broncos. They'll start from their own 3. We knew Jarrett Stidham would start the football game at quarterback. What we weren't sure about was who'd be handing off behind him, and the rookie R.J. Harvey is in there. 2nd-round draft pick out of UCF.
And he's getting a great experience right now in a backed-up situation. So they want to see how the young rookie functions standing in his own end zone, starting on 1st down. Both
Stidham and Harvey begin in their own end zone on 1st down and 10. Cardinals bring some pressure out of the backfield. It's Harvey, makes the catch, and they will give him 1 yard on the play. He was belted immediately by Keaton Crawford, rookie out of Nevada. The Empower players to watch on offense for Denver.
Jarrett Stidham had a fantastic game, only 1 incompletion last week. Pat Bryant, excellent sure hands and separation. And Blake Watson, this young man is doing fantastic things with the opportunities in the football in the run and pass game.
Off the play action, Stidham rolling to his right and throwing. There's Evan Ingram down the sideline for the big gain. Ingram is still running well into Arizona territory. So much for the ones not going tonight, including number 1, Evan Ingram for 58. Well-designed pass play from Jarrett Stidham.
He's going to come across the field here, catch the ball. Look at the block, too, by Franklin, giving him some space. And here's what I love. He keeps going. Evan Ingram is going to be the 8th fastest tight end to get 500 catches in his short career. He is explosive. He is sure-handed. He is a piece on this offense the Broncos have not had the last 5 years.
I thought you told me the starters weren't playing tonight.
I didn't tell you anything. That's what Coach said, and you never trust a coach in the preseason.
Got it. That might be enough to get him out of there.
Yeah, Ingram's done for the night. That's all we need.
Stidham rolling away from trouble, throws wide open. It is caught. There's Pat Bryant. makes a man miss, and he's inside the 10. Explosive start for the Broncos offense, good for 29 more yards.
You see this play again, it's the separation that creates the catch. Pat Bryant told us in production meetings he watches film on Michael Thomas and how he had success in this offense, but he's coming across, he gets some depth, and then gets upfield, made one player miss. That's what you want to see at a young rookie wide receiver.
Give us to Harvey straight ahead, and he's swung into the end zone for the Broncos touchdown from 8 yards away. Man, that was quick. How about a 97-yard scoring drive for the Broncos to open the football game?
They started on their 3 and they ended with 6. Fantastic read right here by R.J. Harvey, and that's the experience he wants. I want to get it backed up, and I want to get it near the goal line. To get that in the same drive, that is fantastic for the coaches to get the evaluation and for the confidence of R.J. Harvey. He's still learning. He can play at the highest level in the NFL.
Will Lutz, extra point. He made them all last year, 46 of 46, and he's perfect on the young knight tonight. And so is this Broncos offense. Wow, 7-0 Denver. $7-0 lead. Wow, quick strike offense.
And they started with a big play from Evan Ingram, and nobody follows the explosive play of 10 yards or more in the NFL than Sean Payton. He wants that, and this is that long run and catch over 50 yards, and then just another dart from Jarrett Stidham. Broncos might get some trade calls about him, the way he's playing. Then R.J. Harvey started with it backed up, got to finish and put it in. There's nothing like that in the preseason with a young rookie running back. Some of them are screaming, some of them are crying. It's a great moment for their career.
Amari DiMercato from inside the 10, left sideline. And he'll be bumped out in front of the Cardinals bench. Time to meet the player, sponsored by Ford. Check out the official trucks and SUVs of your Denver Broncos. Scotty Gage.
23, that guy, Evan Ingram, in 2023 became the 8th tight end in NFL history with a 100-catch season. He had 114 receptions, 4 touchdowns for the Jags that season. And you might see this year he's wearing number 1. It's interesting because he's the first tight end to do that since 1973. And oh yeah, he had a 58-yard catch and run today. You know, a few weeks ago, Evan told me that he wants to be Bo Nix's yes man. He's Jarrett Stidham's yes man tonight.
And right back the Cardinals come off the play action. Brissett able to throw and goes to his tight end Travis Vokolek. You will not see, or at least we don't expect to see Trey McBride. A lot of people would love to see him, a star tight end for the Cardinals. Local product, grew up in Greeley, Colorado. Played his high school football at Fort Morgan. Short 3-yard gain. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Brissett's under center.
Look out right here. Make sure that Jonah Ellis might get in on this play.
Pressure comes up the middle. It's picked up nicely. Brissett throws, and it is caught. Coming across is Andre Bocelli for his 2nd grab. That's good for 14 and a 1st down.
He is singing tonight. 2 catches already in the 1st quarter. And the problem there for defensively, you're in man coverage, so Jacoby Brissett just giving his receiver some space, putting it down low where he can go to get it. What a play for the Cardinals. Hard to stop if you're the Broncos defensively.
Not going to see Nick Benito tonight. Hope to get him back soon. At 3 stitches after a bone spur procedure on his foot. Give is to Michael Carter, and he'll get to midfield. Down to Cynthia.
So we have to talk a little bit more about Evan Ingram because he led all tight ends in both receptions with 112 and yards, 957, from the slot over the past 2 seasons. Well, what does this mean for the Broncos? Oh, Sean Payton? Yeah, he uses tight ends from the slot 52.3% of the time, and that's the 5th highest rate in the NFL, which means maybe he's number 1 for your fantasy team?
I like that idea. And also might be his handicap in golf. Said he shoots a low 80s.
If Cynthia's giving you free fantasy advice, you might want to take it, people. Out to Michael Carter for a pickup of 2. Good pursuit for the Broncos there. Dondre Tillman among the players in the area. Again, Tillman behind Benito Ellis, we've already seen make plays. He's behind Cooper. Alex Singleton was back to full practice this week. Hope to see Drake Greenlaw next week. It's all coming together for this Broncos defense.
Yep, they got a young talent right here in Q Robinson. This guy can get after the passing.
3rd and 7 just across midfield. 8 minutes left first quarter. Broncos a 7-0 lead. Here's Brissett. Steps up, fires, able to complete, and hit Xavier Weaver. Weaver able to pick up the necessary yardage to move the sticks. So another 3rd down conversion for Arizona. That's good for 17.
Clearly Arizona watched the practice film as these two teams played against each other on Thursday, and they're dialing up some man beaters, as they call them. They know the Broncos are going to be in man because of their excellent corners, and that's where you get those deep drag routes and routes that really open up the field to give the quarterback a clear picture.
1st down and 10 from the 32 of the Broncos. Brissett gives to Michael Carter. He is met in the backfield, slowed down. Now he'll get across the line of scrimmage. Good second effort for Carter. 4th-year player out of UNC. Pickup of 5 on the play.
Carter had tremendous success at North Carolina in college, and they're just being patient, a little wiggle waggle, finding the crease.
Justin Strnad able to bring him down eventually. 2nd down and 5. The 27 of the Broncos. This preseason crowd making some noise in Empower Field at Mile High. Givens to Carter. Met in the backfield again. Broncos were all there right away. Tillman there on the spot. Jordan Miller was the first man into the backfield. Lost of 2 on the play.
Tillman's 2nd big tackle of this drive. You're having backups show up and stop the run at the line of scrimmage. That's ideal if you're the Broncos, and especially if you're DeAndre Tillman. You're having a night already early on. Everything you dreamt about last night is happening quick, and now you start believing in your capabilities.
Tillman had 2 sacks in his NFL debut, week 3 at Tampa a season ago. Here's 3rd down and 7 from the Denver 29. They're going to run with it with DeMercado, and he'll stumble forward. He'll be just short of the marker, just over a yard shy. Picked up 6, needed 7, and it's 4th down and 1. Looks like the Cardinals offense will stay on the field.
They want this situation. A lot of things that fans miss in the preseason. Coaches want specific situations. They want to get a 4th down conversion on film. They want to know if their best 4th down call works in the preseason.
DeMercado stays in there.
You can also sometimes get the fake call. They're going to take the delay of game.
5 seconds. Keeper by Brissett, and he'll move forward. The big-bodied Jacoby Brissett, 6'4", 235. He'll fall forward and get the 1st down.
Everybody wants to prove they're better at this than Jalen Hurts. I don't think anybody is, but Jacoby Brissett proving he can take this play and get you 2 yards. Small play, but a lot of confidence there for the Arizona offense off that conversion.
Monty Ossenford is the general manager of these Arizona Cardinals, and he was with the Patriots when New England first drafted Brissett back in 2016 in the 3rd round. 10th play of the drive upcoming. Red zone fringe, handoff to Carter, finds a seam in the middle of that Broncos defense, and he'll fall forward to the 16 and a pickup of 5.
Really impressed with the play calling of the Cardinals. They're running to the weak side here, something that coaches do not do enough. You hear us watching there at your facility, run the ball weak once a quarter. So the Cardinals really calling some great plays to move down the field and continue this long drive against an expiring defense.
4 minutes to play first quarter. Carter's back in there. Brissett wants to throw. Pressure up the middle. Lofts one to the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Simi Fehoko able to make the grab in the end zone. 16-yard strike from Brissett, and an extra point away from tying the game.
It's going to be on the right of your screen right about there. Jaquan McMillan a little bit behind the route. And then also you want your safety to be over there a little quicker, but that's Jacoby Brissett. He sees something, he fires. Excellent quarterbacks in the NFL make quick decisions. Jacoby Brissett can do that, as he just did.
10-year veteran. Brissett looked to the left, too. He looked some guys
he looked
off.
them off. He knew he had a young safety back there. Those are the little pieces. That's the art of playing quarterback.
Chad Ryland on for the extra point. And boots it through. For a preseason game, this is pretty good.
Got points.
Pretty good first quarter.
Points early.
Brissett doing his thing. Matching Stidham. We're 7-all in Denver tonight. Mile High Stadium.
Actually got to wear those jerseys in
Cool.
2009. I think we beat the Cowboys. But it's like, Broncos used to wear yellow?
Don't pretend you don't remember beating the Cowboys, okay? I'm sure you do.
Everybody remembers beating the Cowboys.
Yes. This is a good time to talk about Micah Parsons? You want to wait a little longer?
Hey.
Somebody said Cowboys. I don't know.
I'm ready when you are.
Right.
I don't know if Micah's going to like it.
I know Cynthia's ready as well. And that kickoff to the end zone touchback. The new rule, instead of the 30, they'll go to the 35 this year. Get a second series for this offense for the Broncos. I mean, the last series was rather quick.
Yeah, quarterbacks can come over and say, guys, I didn't even start sweating yet. Come on, let's get out there. And sometimes you start calling more run plays and different plays maybe you're not as good at. But this team's trying to start fast offensively and defensively. So Coach Payton wants to get his players used to scoring drive after drive. That's the expectation of that Parcells offense. You are expecting to score every time you get the ball.
And remember, the offense struggled to start the game a week ago. Down 7-0. Had the intentional grounding on Bo Nix, got him a safety, made it 9-0, and then Denver would score 30 unanswered to win going away. R.J. Harvey's still in there. A flag comes in. Harvey gets out to the 40-yard line, pick up a 6. We'll check the marker. It's our first flag of the game.
Use of hands to the face. Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Ron Torbert, our referee tonight. Flag on Elijah Simmons, undrafted free agent out of Tennessee.
It's going to be right in the middle of your screen. Simmons right here. He's going to get that hands to the face. Nothing feels worse than that. Your throat's getting pushed into your chin. And then when they call this early in the game, the defensive lineman's hands drop about 6 inches for the rest of the game. So this is a gold call for the offensive line in the Broncos, because now your defensive linemen are going to be much more controllable.
Ball pushed out to the 46 of Denver on first down and 10. Harvey motions to the right. Stidham is looking to the left. Try to go back shoulder. Wanted Pat Bryant. And that goes incomplete. Good coverage. Denzel Burke, rookie out of Ohio State, 5th-round pick for the Cardinals on the coverage. First incompletion for Jarrett Stidham.
Well, Pat Bryant did everything he could, spinning in the air to catch a football. Rare you can see that. And that's where, if you're Pat Bryant, you learn, hey, I'm going to step my foot down just a little more, give a little second pause. I got more time. So he's still working on the timing of balls getting to him at different parts of the field. But everyone on the Broncos loves what they see from him.
Looks like we had a motion penalty against Denver.
Ball start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's on Matt Peart. Pat Bryant in college. Listen, he's a confident guy, right? He knows he has good hands, knows he can make all the plays, and wants to develop some consistency and be a star at this level.
Well, he puts in the work. Before practice, he catches 19 footballs and puts them in a garbage can. A teammate I had that used to do that, Antonio Brown, he was a pretty good receiver.
Yes, sir.
And he says he practices over the shoulder catches and everything. So he puts the work in to be great. And what I love is he's one of the best players on his offense. He still couldn't be stopped in college.
Stidham going sideline for Trent Sherfield Sr. Able to make the catch, but out of bounds. It goes incomplete.
Jarrett Stidham here, second time to the left. He kind of hung the ball in the air, so that's a little technique that he's going to know. Okay, when I'm throwing left, I got to lower it a little bit. I'm throwing a little high. So those are the in-drive changes that Jarrett Stidham's thinking about right now.
3rd and 15. Stidham's in a slump.
2 incompletions, huh?
Takes the snap. Cards rushing for. Pocket collapses. Stidham squeezes through, steps and fires. Hits Pat Bryant for first down yardage. Now there is a penalty marker on the field. We'll check it. But great athleticism by Stidham, and he knew where the line of scrimmage was.
He has your broadcast in his ear.
Holding. Defense. Number 0. Penalties applied. Play results for the first down.
And you love to decline a penalty on offense because you had success anyway. They're going to get a couple looks at this. Instead of looking right, looking left, and watch him act like Houdini under there. Get away from me. Ooh, and he stops, delivers a dime to none other than Pat Bryant, who's ready for the ball. Rare to have a rookie receiver looking back at the quarterback when he's scrambling like that. Stopping on a dime, throwing on a dime. This man's got 20 cents already.
The penalty that was picked up, that was on Will Johnson, rookie out of Michigan, second-round pick. Cynthia Freeland reports that Johnson had an outstanding training camp for Arizona, among their best players.
Offense number 11, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And now all of a sudden it starts to feel like a preseason game with penalties piling up.
Well, and this is now the second false start call on this drive. And it's something when I was at practice that I saw often. They're not really working that double cadence, that second cadence well, and you need that. We won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 50. We were always changing the count. Andy Reid would change the count 5 times in the first 10 plays. That's a bonus for the offense.
First down and 15 now after the marker. Tyler Bidet has checked in. And another flag. It's a laundry fest. Stidham throwing. Penalty will go against Arizona. Let's see if there's a second penalty. Michael Bandy, the intended target.
Contact before the catch is a penalty. It's not allowed.
There was a flag prior to that.
Yep. What's strange, it's on both sides of the field. Now there's lobbying. You think there's lobbying in D.C. You stand there when refs are trying to discuss who it was.
There were fouls by both teams during the play. Illegal formation. Offense number 63 was not on the line of scrimmage. Offside. Defense number 70. Those penalties offset. Repeat first down.
This is a clunky kind of drive for the Broncos. You're going to see 63 right here. He's going to get called for being too far in the backfield. You want to be able to break the line of the guard or the center's waistline. And then on the left side, D-tackle, they jump. But defenders, they're prone to making mistakes. That's why they play defense, Steve.
Got it. But the first penalty there was on Arizona. That allowed the play to continue. They didn't blow it dead until after the fact. Give is back to Harvey. Picks up 5 on the play.
Harvey getting a little bit of welcome to the NFL from his coaches. Hey, great touchdown. Way to go on that 93-yard drive. You're back in. A lot of this is conditioning as well. You want your players conditioned to be able to come in and out of the game, hear different play calls, and execute.
Harvey, 3 carries so far for 18 yards. Second down and 11 upcoming.
Got Evan Ingram in the game. I have to start saying Ingram alert right here at the bottom of your screen.
Here comes some pressure. It's picked up nicely by the Broncos. Stidham steps and fires in traffic. Pat Bryant goes up to make the catch. Inside the 30. Working on Keitrell Clark of the Cardinals. Good for 16.
Looks like a young Cortland Sutton. Jarrett Stidham poised in the pocket, moving his feet, excellent technique, and then sure-handed Pat Bryant. The separation he creates with his route only happens from studying film and working on the details.
Stidham throws it sidearm. I think he was more throwing that away than anything else. Troy Franklin was in the neighborhood, but there was nothing going on right from the snap there.
Sometimes you get a defensive end that just guesses, hopes that it's a pass play because they're so far out of position. But that's a good decision by Jarrett Stidham. Get it to the ground, go to 2nd and 10. We got the plays.
Cardinals able to defeat the Chiefs in their preseason opener last week, 20-17. Broncos handled the 49ers 30-9 out in Santa Clara. Jaleel McLaughlin in the game for the Broncos now for the first time. 80 seconds to play in the quarter. Stidham has time, lofts one, sideline, it's caught. Troy Franklin into the end zone. Touchdown Broncos, and a beautiful ball right on time from Jarrett Stidham again.
Stidham throwing this before Franklin even was looking for the ball. So Jarrett Stidham just diagnosing the defense immediately. Was looking to his right when he began, and then said, and then floats it right in between the corner and the safety. And Franklin coming up with the big catch. He had a couple of big drops last year. Not so this year. Franklin is learning how to play the position and score points.
8 plays, 65 yards, takes 2:39 off the clock. Will Lutz finishes things off. It was not artistic like the Broncos' first drive was.
Resilient.
But the result is the same. It's 7 more points for the Broncos. Late stage, quarter number 1. Tonight's coverage is sponsored in part by Ramos Law. Dr. Joseph Ramos, medical doctor and attorney. If you've been injured in an accident, visit ramoslaw.com. Ramos Law, what makes us different, makes us better. And you see the Super Bowl 50 Lombardi Trophy. Ryan at his hands, fingerprints are still all over that, and they're going to honor that team, 10th anniversary edition this season.
I can't wait to do it. We also have a teammate of mine that's playing for the Cardinals. But that's we'll get to that in a second.
Cardinals on the return. DeMarcado cuts to the middle, 25-30, and out to the 32-yard line. Special teams stop by Keydron Smith. Let's go back to the touchdown. What you see there, Ryan?
Well, it starts with Franklin being fantastic at his route running, and then Jarrett Stidham's going to look to his right. That's just going to freeze that safety long enough to create the throw. Jarrett Stidham gets back, clean pocket, and now you see this safety is looking this way because of Jarrett Stidham, but Jarrett Stidham's going left with the ball. Franklin catches it and finishes it for 6.
Clayton Tune is in the game at quarterback. 69 seconds to play in the first quarter, and Tune wants to throw. With a man in his face, throws, it goes incomplete, looking to work the sideline. Xavier Weaver was the intended target. Jacoby Brissett started the game. His last drive, he was 5 for 5, 49 yards, and a touchdown pass of his own.
He had a fourth down conversion as well. So Jacoby Brissett proven to his teammates that he can be counted on if needed in this season.
You know, I think it's a trend around the NFL. I'm just looking at all the scores preseason, week 1, week 2. We got 21 points in our game already. High scoring preseason games.
The defenses want you to get comfortable and confident before they throw something new at you week 1.
Michael Carter is strung out by the Broncos defense for no gain. Met at the line of scrimmage all around. Jahdae Barron, the first man of the football. There is a flag down.
One of the best tackling corners I have ever seen. Look at that relentless pursuit. He must be in jiu-jitsu or something. Weapon down the hands, any way possible. Get him on the ground. That's rare to see from a corner, especially a rookie.
That's quite a statement you just made. One of the best tackling corners you've seen.
And I played with Champ Bailey. I played with some of the best. But Jahdae Barron, the first practice I went to, I was like, oh, who's number 12? Had to look at my sheet. Coaches say he listens in meetings. Rookies never listen. I didn't listen in meetings my rookie year. But he absorbs the meetings, and coaches told us he wants to be as good as Pat Surtain right now, but doesn't understand he has to learn the game a little more at this level. But he's doing an excellent job.
Little patience to get to that Surtain level. 3rd down and 9. From the Cardinals 33. Tune wants to throw underneath. Wanted DeMarcado out of the backfield. Forget about it, nothing doing. Sternad was right there in case there was a completion, and it's 4th down.
Defensively, doesn't matter who goes in there because they've got some fantastic draft picks. Starts with Jahdae Barron, we just talked about him. And also you got Pat Bryant, who's making some noise. I'm telling you, once this young man, Q Robinson, learns to jump the snap a little bit, he is going to be a terror. And this is my guy. This is my day one, I'll call him. All right, Steve, Caleb Lohner, 6'7", former basketball player. He's going to have some opportunities in the NFL.
Here's the punt. Blake Gillikin gets it away. Courtney Jackson is back. Trying to make a play and make the team. Cuts in the 20 and to the 23-yard line. And Denver gets the football back after the first 3 and out of the football game with some 18 seconds left to play in the quarter.
Talked to special teams coach Rizzi. He said Courtney Jackson has explosive talent returning the ball, had 4 returns for touchdowns in college, and had some coaching points afterwards after the first preseason game. Said, hey, get north and south, get us 5 yards to a first down. That's all your job is. So right there, a little improvement from Courtney Jackson, the rookie out of Arkansas State.
Denver football, 1st down and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Again, Stidham stays in there. Bidet in the backfield. See if we see R.J. Harvey again. Have not seen J.K. Dobbins yet. Handoff straight ahead, it's Bidet. who last year was Beatty and now is pronouncing his last name Bidet. I think we're all good with that. He had 5 rushes for 32 yards in the preseason opener against the 49ers. Picks up 3 there as the final seconds tick away of quarter number 1.
That was fast and fun.
Had a lot to chew on. And now something to digest as well. 14-7 Broncos after the first 15. Ever have 100 catches in a single season. His Broncos record stood for 40 years after he retired. He still ranks 3rd among all Denver wide receivers all time, receptions and receiving yards, behind only Rod Smith and Demaryius Thomas. And that year he had 100 catches for the first time that anybody did it in 14 games. Woo! He wasn't playing 17 or soon to be 18 games. And part of the inaugural Ring of Fame class in 1984. Lionel Taylor already honored inside the stadium here tonight and now on your television screen.
He was one of the guys that changed the game. A lot of coaches were getting mad at the Broncos. Why are you throwing it so much? This is the wing tee and the veer days. Mr. Taylor making a name for himself and really changing the game of football.
That's a great point. That was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
Yeah, the veer works every time. Right. The veer works every time.
We're not throwing it around the yard, but to retire, Bud, and still have your record stand for 40 years.
On more games, too. The other players playing more games.
Wow. Pat Bryant gets into the act. Young wide receiver would love to follow in the footsteps.
Well, Pat Bryant, so many catches already in this game and catching every single one of them, not one bobbling off of his hands. Now coaches are thinking, how can we get him involved with the ones? That's how well he's playing tonight.
Give straight ahead, Bidet.
This is a small play, but a huge play.
Tell me why.
Tyler Bidet, because this is a play where it's broken at the beginning. There's somebody right in his face, but what does he do? He just digs in, burrows like he's getting underground, doesn't let someone. He got a forearm to the face. Who keeps going forward with a forearm to the face? That's toughness, that's determination and intent. Tyler Bidet continuing his production to prove he belongs on this roster.
Do you think Bidet is the leader in the clubhouse as the 3rd running back right now?
I do. I think he's the best. He always gets you production, positive yards, fights through runners as he's doing each and every play, and can catch the ball. One thing people forget about Sean Payton, he needs his running backs to catch the ball. And what that does is it forces the defense to be more vanilla because they have to play either run or pass, and they make a choice that's kind of in between. So a guy like Tyler Bidet can offer you some serious depth midway through the season if you get any injuries.
And they trust him in pass pro as well on 3rd down.
Yep, you got to be able to pick up the blitz.
As Jaleel McLaughlin was in the game making that last carry. And, a guy like Bidet makes a play, and then that puts the pressure on the other guys.
That's why he wanted to get a 1st down.
And McLaughlin did. Here's Stidham rolling to his left, away from traffic. And he'll just sail that one out of bounds. Was getting pressure from Arizona, Benton Whitley. Back up in the booth, Super Bowl champ from that Super Bowl 50 team, Ryan Harris. I'm Steve Levy here in Denver. How many running backs can you keep? Can you keep 4 running backs? Is that a possibility?
I don't think you can do it without maybe, somebody gets injured in the last preseason game or something like that. 3 is a good number to keep. You can always find running backs. But right now, to me, Tyler Bidet is that number 3 back.
R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, and Tyler Bidet for now. Here's McLaughlin saying, get me on that roster, Ryan. Keep 4 backs. George Payton. McLaughlin rips off a big one for 35 yards.
Jaleel McLaughlin has only continued to play hard and learn the craft of being a running back. Sees a mess to his left and takes off to his right. He has track speed. That's what they call that right there. And what I love right at the end of that play, he's spinning back into the field. He's not jumping out of bounds. He wants some more.
Gives it right back to him. Why not? McLaughlin crashes down to the 6. All right, Ryan, your rules for running backs to make this team.
Going to make the team, you got to take care of the football. It starts with ball security. All the running backs have done an excellent job with that this preseason. You have to pick up the blitz. That's where Jaleel McLaughlin, as great as he can run the ball, you can't have him in on 3rd down necessarily. A little bit of a smaller back. But Coach Payton loves 10-plus yard runs. Offensive linemen do too. Not only you get the first down, but now your defense is tired because they all had to chase him. And you have to catch the ball in this offense out of the backfield and be able to score points doing it.
And maybe even further down the list off the page, there's a special teams component there too. Here's Stidham rolling to his right. Hooks up with Bidet inside the 5 for a short gain of 3. Can bring up third down.
Watch this catch by Bidet too. I mean, he is sitting down, squatting, staying available though. 2 feet inbound, staying available for his quarterback, who's scrambling with a 300-pounder screaming at him.
It's the rare 3rd down and 1 from the 2. Can still get a first down here, obviously. 7 seconds to snap it. With Caden Prescorn in as a tight end, throwing back of the end zone. And I don't know if that was miscommunication or he's throwing that out of the end zone. That's going to bring up 4th down.
I think they knew they were going for it on 4th down, so they say, hey, here's the call. If you don't like it, throw it out of bounds. We'll go for it. This is also a little bit where Jarrett Stidham can improve. When you're doing that play fake, I mean, I thought Tom Brady was one of the best at doing it. Peyton Manning too. Their head was down. They were looking at the ball. They weren't acting like they were going to keep it. And just a little wrinkle like that can really sell the defense, bring them up, and open that up a little more in the end zone.
Cardinals just ran a defender off late. Here we go. 4th down and 1 from the 2. Stidham out of the gun. Bunch formation. Bidet to his right. Gives it to him. And holds it, and the flag comes in. See if that'll change the play call.
It's 4th down.
False start against the Broncos.
And you're okay backing up if you're the Broncos. You don't want that by any means. But that's a 3rd false start now. And so now what happens is the coaches go back after this game. They say, guys, I don't think we can go on any other count but 1. And that's terrible when you're going against some of the defensive ends in the AFC West. You want to keep that defense guessing. Peyton Manning did it by saying, hey, if I say an ice cream flavor or turtle, there's no play. So we go up there, chocolate, chocolate, Omaha Blue, go. And then he'd finally give you the play, so that way you didn't jump because there was no play to execute.
I think that was the 2nd flag against Alex Palczewski so far. 26-yard field goal attempt for Will Lutz. No doubt about it. Broncos settled for 3 instead of 7. 17-7, Denver. Children's Hospital, Colorado, the official children's hospital of the Denver Broncos.
My old quarterback,
Yeah.
Sheriff.
Peyton was out at the joint practice this past week. Had an opportunity. I thought that was cool. He was hanging out with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I saw that photo.
Yes, very nice.
What, 103 touchdowns to his dad? But what a time to be there if you're Peyton Manning. Everybody who played the game, we want to see those joint practices because that's where guys are going to contest balls. They're playing like it's a real game. Now what's different is you don't get that kind of long drive, 6 plays, the 2s are in, 8 plays, the 3s are in, but that is where the most fierce competition happens in the preseason, in those joint practices.
It's down to the field. Here's Cynthia.
Bidet had 5 rushes, and all 5 of them were considered a success. So at least 4 yards on first down, half the distance to second, and converting on third. Well, he followed that up with another one so far tonight. But Jaleel McLaughlin, he's 3 for 3. And, oh, by the way, R.J. Harvey, he's 2 for 3 in that same metric.
See, now you're starting to notice the separation, and you can see it on the sidelines. R.J. Harvey's relaxed and confident. Bidet is excited and happy. Those guys are separating themselves from the group.
Rushes on that last drive. 6 carries, 62 yards. Clayton Tune being chased and throws. Let's see, they'll call it a catch. It's Fehoko who makes the grab. He had the touchdown catch earlier. Jonah Ellis was the player chasing Tune out of the pocket.
Tune had to run for his life because Ellis almost got him. And watch the pursuit. Woo! Almost got him twice on that play. That's the kind of effort Jonah Ellis gives every play.
Jahdae Barron got up high to impact his vision on the throw as well.
Saw the pick 6 in his mind.
Broncos is swarming to the football so far here tonight. Off the play action. Trying to set it up. It's complete. Josiah DeGuara able to make the catch for the Cardinals. Short gain of 2 yards. Kyler Murray was incredibly healthy a season ago, and because of that, Clayton Tuna was his backup all season. While he saw action in 6 games, only threw 2 passes all of last season. Cardinals will take that again if they can keep Kyler Murray healthy.
And the problem there is Kyler Murray, listed at 5'10", has had some injury issues. Of course, a tough playoff game as well, but Kyler Murray's a guy who needs to change the narrative on his career, and quick, in the NFL.
3rd down and 4. Out of the gun. Broncos rush 5, gets rid of it. Carter able to make the catch, and it's a good spot. We don't need a virtual measurement, I don't think. And it is a 1st down for Arizona. The Cardinals, they doubled their win total. Now, again, they were starting with 4, but they doubled it to 8 last season in Jonathan Gagnon's 2nd year as a coach. And if they could double up or go north of 8, that'd be a pretty impressive season.
And that division's kind of open there, that NFC West. Yes, San Francisco's going to be there. Maybe healthy, maybe not, but that's a wide open division.
Tune out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. Inside handoff, it's DeMercado. And again, the Broncos just continue to swarm to that football. Jackson and Skinner right there for the Broncos.
And the Broncos defense is showing you're not going to be able to run the ball between the tackles against us all year. So it's going to take some pitches to the edges. It's going to take some backside cuts, some chicanery as they can call it. And that's all because of the coaching that this defensive staff is doing. These players are in the right position. They know what to do. And coaches give them calls that let them play fast.
And you're not going to be able to throw against Pat Surtain.
Nope. And maybe not Jahdae Barron either.
So, I mean, that's really something to watch for.
This is the defense that led the league in sacks last year.
Add Dre Greenlaw. Add Hufanga.
Talanoa Hufanga. Got to see him down there playing with his kids before the game. What a moment for him.
That last play to DeMercado.
Another time they tried to run in the middle, just can't do it. The way the linebackers are filling into the gaps. And one of the unique things about the Broncos D linemen, they kind of float with their linemen until the very end. It's a technique they're all using. It's very effective.
Midway point of quarter number 2. The Broncos enjoying a 17-7 lead. Here's 3rd down and 8. Tune out of the gun. Broncos rushing just 4 and unable to hook up the intended target for Hoko. Good coverage again for Denver. Chris Abrams-Drain right there in the neighborhood denying.
Abrams-Drain really getting a positive play for him. You always want your corner to be near the receiver, even if they're going up to catch it. And Abrams-Drain was right there. Cardinals running somebody on late. Often happens in the preseason. Someone thinks their night's done, and everybody's screaming at you all of a sudden on the sidelines, "Get your helmet on!"
There's Blake Gillikin back to punt. And he boots it in the air. Jackson runs up, lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. 52 on the punt. And just a net of 32. And we'll step out. We're cheating, Harris. Sponsored by First Bank, banking for good. Tonight we're asking which Denver Broncos quarterback holds the record for the most passing yards in a single game.
ChatGPT, is that cheating or no?
It's all cheating nowadays. Gonna go Elway, Peyton, that seems very obvious, right?
Over, under, I played with the quarterback.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you played with him. You think you played with him?
I don't know.
It's gonna be a Paxton deal.
Told me not to cheat.
Greasy. All right, here we go. Greasy can't be the answer every week, by the way, okay? Here's Blake Watson, the ball carrier. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play, running out to his left.
Blake Watson has a lot of burst. He gets the ball quickly. He gets to that line of scrimmage fast. Coaches time how fast a running back gets to the line of scrimmage in the same play. And Blake Watson has to be one of the fastest on the team. He looks like he's excited every time they give him the football.
The Broncos' leading rusher last season had just 513 yards, and that was Javonte Williams, and that just will not do for this Broncos team. Stidham tries to look off the defense, set up the screen. Blake Watson makes a spin to make at least one man miss and get out to about the 26-yard line. So the running game has obviously been an issue. It's been 6 years since the Broncos had a 1,000-yard rusher.
And you want that because you want the defense expecting run. And look, that's the formula for winning championships. You have to be able to run the football. You want your linemen to be able to establish physicality. You want your running backs to get used to the feel of the game.
Sean Payton's first 2 seasons in Denver, he hasn't had a 100-yard rusher in a single game. That's got to change this season. Here's 3rd down and 4. Here's Stidham. Pressure in his face, unloads across the middle. Lucas Kroll. And we'll see where they spot him. I think he's just short of that 30, which was the line to gain. And they're saying 4th down.
I love that Jarrett Stidham's looking to the sideline like, are we getting to play here or are we punting? I mean, that's the preseason for you.
Yeah.
You're going to get a freeze here. It's just going to come over the right guard. That's where the pressure's going to come. It's pretty immediate. And so with the swim move, Jarrett Stidham knows he's going to get hit, throws it, gets his arm out of the way so he doesn't break a pinky. That is professional quarterback play.
First 3 Denver possessions resulted in points. First time the punting unit has come on. And here's their 24-year-old rookie punter, Jeremy Crawshaw. And a flag comes in the air as the punt goes in the air. And DJ Dallas, with a ton of green in front of him, waves it down for the fair catch immediately. And we'll check the marker.
DJ Dallas, it might have been a play for him to make the team. He knows it.
It's a 48-yard punt for now.
Illegal formation by the kicking team, number 59, lined up in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. First down, Arizona. Timeout.
That's on Garrett Nelson. That screams preseason, right? Illegal formation on a punt.
They rarely call that in the regular season, too. We'll be back.
Did you play with Jake the Snake by any chance?
No.
Here's the answer to tonight's Broncos trivia question, sponsored by First Bank, banking for good. We asked which Broncos quarterback holds the record for the most passing yards in a single game. October 31st, 2004, Jake Plummer threw for 499 yards against the Atlanta Falcons, 31 of 55, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. That's the 26th highest total in NFL history.
I love that. 4 tutties, 3 picks. He was slinging it. But one of the best players for former Broncos. He makes sure he contacts all of us. Did a huge mental health study this past offseason. But Jake Plummer, a captain of the alumni.
Very nice. Keeping it in the family. Quick out to J. John Palmer. First-year player out of UAB, picks up 6. Broncos had pressure right up the middle in Clayton Tune's face.
And Broncos defensive line, multiple players getting after the quarterback, and that has an effect. Maybe they don't get Clayton Tune down right now, but he is trying to think faster, release the ball quicker, and that's when mistakes happen.
Saw Lavelle Bailey's had an unbelievable training camp as well.
3 straight tackles as I counted it here on defense.
Thought we were going to let Cynthia handle the math. No, you're going to dive in there.
I'm taking chances left and right, Steve.
2nd down and 4. Here's Tune to throw, has time, lofts one, deep shot, and it goes incomplete. Just beyond the outstretched arms of Xavier Weaver. There is a flag on the play. Damari Mathis.
Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So Mathis had the coverage, wanting step for step with Weaver, and Yoma Uwazurike was flagged.
What I love is Mathis has his hand on the shoulder pad on top instead of grabbing the back of the jersey. They're going to call it every time if they see jersey, but if a guy's running and you have your hand on their shoulder pad, it's kind of hard to tell whether you're holding him back or not. So that's expert defensive back play by Damari Mathis.
Uwazurike likely in a battle to stay on this roster with Jordan Jackson. Penalties will not help that cause.
He's a huge player. 6'6", 320. He just doesn't play like it much. He's got to get that fixed here pretty quickly in this game, in the 3rd preseason game.
Uwazurike, remember, came out of college involved in the gambling issue, got suspended for a whole season, and the Broncos stuck with him. And there were a handful of players who got wrapped up in that gambling suspension, and not many of those players are still with their original drafted team. So Uwazurike trying to pay back the Broncos now by playing well and making this club. 2nd down and 10. A lot of loyalty shown there by the organization. Here's Tune on the run, rolling away, running away from Ellis, who's had these Cardinals on the run all night.
I don't know what kind of coffee he drinks, but it's working. I mean, Jonah Ellis's pursuit is relentless. Then Q Robinson getting in there. Q's still learning about the game. Played a lot at Alabama, but the NFL, it's so much quicker. There's so many more formations, and guys are talking like they have unlimited wireless minutes. And so you're trying to focus and hearing noise. He'll get it figured out.
Can you hear me here? 3rd down and 5.
After 7 p.m., I have unlimited minutes.
Remember those days?
Dude.
I used to call my parents collect. Are you kidding me?
Call me in 10 minutes. I'll have minutes.
3rd down and 5. Here's Tune, again under pressure from Ellis, pitches to the right to Carter, and he is slammed out of bounds in a big way. Broncos aggressive defense all night. J.L. Skinner right there, and again Ellis forcing the issue.
And under pressure right as he gets back to his drop, and Clayton Tune has to flick it to his right there. How about that hit at the end? That's exactly what you want out of your corners and safeties to come up and play it hard. Quentin Newsome not getting a lot of opportunities at the back of the depth chart, but made his name known on that one.
See if we get a look at the long snapper, Aaron Brewer now on, as the Cardinals are in punt formation. 4th down and 4 upcoming.
My former teammate on the Super Bowl 50 team.
There he is.
Hilarious, and I got to interrupt one of the sacred moments in pregame. You never interrupt kickers, but Aaron put the ball down, came over, we laughed a little bit, talked about some of the things we saw that year, and happy for him. What a career he's put together. Now in his 14th season.
What does it say the guys are still playing who you were teammates with?
It says I'm young, Steve.
That's impressive.
I'm young.
Aaron Brewer was the long snapper here for Matt Prater's 64-yard field goal, that Broncos record. Hey man, when I come back next life, I want to come back as a long snapper. There's good quality of life there, long careers.
But you gotta be perfect.
Yeah, you gotta be
every time.
Fair catch signaled for by Courtney Jackson as we approach the 2-minute warning. Just a 43-yard punt. Stay tuned during halftime of tonight's game. It'll be the 9 News halftime report. Quick look at today's headlines, news and weather. Colorado's news leader, 9 News. Temperatures in the area reached 90 degrees today, but it was certainly very comfortable at kickoff. It'll get into the low 70s here as we progress throughout the night.
With your forecast, weatherman Steve Levy, yes. I like it.
Traffic and weather on the 10s. All right. Broncos are backed up. They'll start from the 11-yard line. Expect to see Sam Ehlinger in the second half. We saw him loosening up earlier. Stidham stays in there, hands to Bidet, and he is met immediately in the backfield for a loss of 1 on the play. Anthony Goodlow made the stop. First year player out of Oklahoma State.
Now the running back room is starting to show itself. R.J. Harvey started the game, had a touchdown run to end the first drive. You see Tyler Bidet and you see others. And so now Audric Estime is going to be coming in that second half, and he's going to have the game of his life to stay in the roster conversation.
Broncos not in a hurry. That ticks down to the 2-minute warning. Denver has 2 timeouts remaining. Down the stretch we go until halftime. 17-7 Broncos.
I'm Scotty Gange. Can we just take a quick moment to look at the crowd here? Everybody at home, this game does not count. It's the preseason, and the starters on each side of the field are not playing, but it's filled with Bronco fans wearing their blue and orange. Boy, Steve, Ryan, I tell you, this city, this state is so excited about this team, and I think the number of fans in here is a perfect representation of that this evening.
Scotty, the Broncos have sold out every home game since 1970. Another completion there. I'll say that again. The Broncos have sold out every home game since 1970. That speaks to this fan base, and during some third downs earlier in the first quarter, you could hear them tonight too.
Yeah, and they're always asking for the in-on-season tickets too. The only team I played for that more people are like, hey, can you help me get on the season ticket list than any other team? And I've been able to play. I played for the Steelers, the Chiefs, but I can tell you, no one is as loud as the Broncos. And when the fans stomp their feet, your face mask rattles on the field. It's one of the coolest feelings in the NFL.
Hey, those are 3. If you could play for 3 organizations, like you picked the 3 right ones.
I'm a winner, and I'm working with you. I keep winning. Come on, Steve.
Those fans don't get a big head, though.
Well, I got the hat now,
yes,
if I do. I love those. I love seeing the creativity in the hat. I love the alternate jerseys, too.
Yes.
The NFL's letting
Yes.
teams do. Let that new kind of graphics and design come to fruition.
2nd down and 10. Stidham out firing on the mark. Michael Bandy, welcome to the stat sheet. He makes the catch. Bandy able to pick up 16. You know what else looks good out on the field tonight? How about the new grass tonight, huh?
I love new turf.
Resodded it. Kentucky bluegrass.
Yes, the best there is.
Looks good on your television screen wherever you're watching. Hopefully with friends and loved ones.
It feels like the outer fringe of a green for all you golfers out there. That's what this grass feels like down there, and players love it. Saves your knees, saves from injuries.
They got finished with the Stadium Series here at Empower Field at Mile High and put down the new grass for the new NFL season. Looking extremely promising for the Broncos. Stidham off his back foot throws it up for grabs. It's incomplete and the flags fly. Trent Sherfield Sr. felt the contact early. A lot of hands on hips for those Cardinals defensive backs.
This play is all Jarrett Stidham.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
It's on Keytrell Clark. He's on a bubble to make this Cardinals roster.
For anyone who says the preseason doesn't matter, don't tell Jarrett Stidham. Steps up in the pocket using his perfect technique, gets out and points to his receiver. Come on back, come on back. How he throws this ball, going left to his right and getting that pass interference. That is because he didn't give up on the play. Neither did Sherfield Sr. What an absolute bang, bang play for the Broncos.
28-yard penalty.
And he got hit at the end.
And he was smiling about it, so you know he's okay. Minute 18 until halftime. Broncos have 2 timeouts remaining. This time it's the check down to Bidet. He's got some running room. Cuts inside the 20. Another first down for Denver. Stidham's over 200 yards passing. Blunt makes the stop for Arizona.
A wonderful screen call by Sean Payton. A one-lineman screen. That is going to confuse every defense. And every offensive coordinator just saw that in the NFL saying, do we have that play?
10 plays already over 10 yards. Now Stidham wants the end zone. Back shoulder, it is caught. Troy Franklin. It's another dime for Jarrett Stidham. And he finds Franklin again for a beautiful touchdown.
Franklin screaming with joy at the end. It meant more to him than anybody in this stadium. What I love, you're going to hear this often, late hands from a receiver. Watch how late the hands come up by Franklin. That is him understanding he's likely getting the ball. He's press covered, so you can't show those hands early. The defensive back will get their hands in there. He shows them late, gets the grab, 2 feet in bounds for 6.
Franklin played at Oregon with Bo Nix and proving he's also got a fine connection with Jarrett Stidham. Extra point good. 6 plays, 88 yards, 1:47 on the drive. And Denver opens up a 24-7 lead.
Jarrett Stidham now back-to-back games with 50-50 balls, as they call them. But he places it in just the right area so his receiver can get his body between the defender and the ball. Really remarkable how well Jarrett Stidham's playing.
Scotty started the night telling everybody about Sean Payton had 14, 15, 17 things he was upset about from last week. Listen, Payton's not going to be happy because he's an NFL head coach. I get that, but what's he going to find to complain about in this first half?
Well, the offsides penalties, false start penalties. I mean, this is, you can win games in the NFL in the regular season playing like that. And one of the things people forget, Jarrett Stidham's showing Bo Nix what he can do. Every quarterback's different. They're going to make different decisions. Jarrett Stidham's playing within the system, making pinpoint passes, and that puts pressure on Bo Nix to do the same and be better. And as the competitor Bo Nix is, he wants to prove why he's the #1 quarterback. So this is learning for Bo Nix as well as the production for Jarrett Stidham.
No head coach has won a Super Bowl with 2 different franchises. Does that surprise you? That shocks me. By accident, one time you'd think somebody would, after winning a Super Bowl, would go to a different franchise and win it again. But it hasn't happened yet, and Sean Payton obviously has that opportunity after winning the Super Bowl. Super 44 as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Oh, by the way, that's where the Broncos are headed next week to close out the preseason. DJ Dallas on the return. Good special team stop there by Garrett Wallow. Another sign of things rolling right here in Denver. The percentage of players returning from one season, last season to this season, Denver's first in the NFL.
When they're around a bunch of playoff teams, and what that means is you're hitting in the draft, which they have. Guys like Jonah Ellis, Franklin has just made the catch. You got to win in the draft, and what that brings to is familiarity and speed, because now you know what you're doing. You're not thinking you're out there playing football like you're in high school.
Toon throws, hits Michael Carter. Karene Reed makes the stop, loss of 1 on the play. Reed had the interception a week ago. He's a guy trying to make this team, undrafted free agent out of Utah.
That Utah college program is putting a lot of guys in the NFL. Great job they're doing there. And Reed just making a play. That's what you can do. All you can focus on is the opportunity you're getting. You can't focus on what other guys do in the game that you're competing with. What can you do? How can you play? How hard can you play when given the chance?
Second down and 11.
Watch Jonah Ellis on the bottom of your screen. Got a little extra water on that break.
35 ticks remaining. Here's Toon throwing, got it away, completes. DeGuara, his second catch out of bounds, stops the clock with 31 seconds left.
Clayton Toon, likely his only opportunity to get this 2-minute drill before it really matters, right? There's an injury in the game. Hopefully he prepared for it. Most backups do. But you don't get this kind of free range to think a little bit and make some of your own decisions like you do in the preseason.
3rd and 4 upcoming. So the Broncos have used 2 timeouts already, have 1 remaining. Arizona's got all 3. With 31 seconds left on the clock, and the football at their own 30. It looked like the left tackle jumped.
Ball start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down. The clock was not running, so there is no potential for a 10-second runoff.
That's Josh Fryer, rookie out of Ohio State. And I don't know, maybe at some point here the Cardinals just take a knee. They keep going in the wrong direction. We'll see.
They keep giving opportunities to Jonah Ellis, and that's why that was a false start, because Jonah Ellis was on that side, and now you got your tackle Fryer just trying to get back. As a tackler, you're saying, I just want to get in front of him real quick. Well, he didn't even rush on that play, and that's the effort that Jonah Ellis gives. He's living rent-free in that tackle's mind.
You have Ellis already making this team?
100%.
Yeah, me too. Here's the pressure. It's Ellis again in the backfield. Blows up that play on Clayton Toon, and a flag comes in at the end.
His get off is immaculate. He's untouched, and he pursues the quarterback. Maybe they're getting him for landing on the quarterback. I'm not sure, but.
Did he try to intentionally ground that? Could that be dumping it? Let's see. There's a huddle back at the 10-yard line.
Jonah Ellis is he's stronger, he's quicker. In defensive ends, you have to take some risks. You have to know, okay, it's 4 seconds left on the clock. That next sound is likely the snap.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 15. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. It's 4th down. Denver has elected not to run 10 seconds from the clock. So Jonah will start on the snap.
Jonah Ellis creates a false start the play before, and then creates the very next play an intentional grounding with contact on the quarterback. That is relentless pursuit of excellence.
And if it wasn't Ellis, Barron probably would have gotten there too. So, listen, on a first half where the Broncos have looked unbelievable on defense, Jonah Ellis has really stood out. Yep.
And you want your draft picks to play and play well. A lot of teams around the NFL, even at this point, guys they drafted this year are saying we got the wrong guy. George Paton and Sean Payton put together a heck of a roster. And you add Evan Ingram, Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, this is going to be a defense that might set records.
Gillikin the punt. Here's Courtney Jackson. And he'll get out to the 43-yard line. 18 seconds left. And Denver will take over with the football. It's been an excellent first half for the Broncos. Got off to a slow start a week ago against the 49ers, but were, dominant latter stages of the first quarter on. Outscored the Niners going away 30-0, and here enjoying a 24-7 lead. Looks like going to the half.
And that's everybody, coaches and players, right? Coaches have to call the right plays, players have to execute, but the Broncos coming out and fixing the big thing they wanted to after last week, starting fast on both sides of the ball.
Stidham was 14 of 15 last week. Tonight he's 14 of 20 for 228 yards and 2 more touchdowns, and he's not done. Wants to throw some more. Able to complete there, Sherfield Sr. Look at the Broncos hustling to the ball. 10 seconds left. Denver has 1 timeout. And why not get this rep? Maybe try to set up for a last-second field goal if you can.
It is so useful. And one of the things you weren't able to see on TV is Trent Sherfield Sr. Ran the ball back to the referee. This situation, less than 10 seconds, take the ball, hand it to the referee. Don't put it on the ground. So Sherfield Sr., knowing that coaching point, executing it, and then everybody getting on the line of scrimmage and set so that Jarrett Stidham can snap it for one last shot.
Heads up play for Sherfield. 6th team in 6 years. 4 consecutive 1-year contracts. Finally gets a 2-year deal with the Broncos. Heady play right there.
Coaches I talked to of his at the Vikings loved him. Said there's no job too small. They could put him in any situation. It's the exact kind of player you want on this roster.
Cardinals will spend their first time out with 6 seconds to play.
Now, too, when you put that on film, now Coach Payton's going to say, watch Sherfield Sr. run the ball back to the referee. Watch everybody get to the line despite the ball not being there. The center's got to get set. Quarterback's got to be right there. That's something they practiced, and sometimes you forget about it in the game as a player because you're like, okay, it's second down. What are we doing? Oh, no, we got to get on the ball. So communication was high. Awareness was high. That's exactly what you're looking for, and worth it even if they don't score points here in these last 6 seconds.
Some guys are running around celebrating or goofing around like, no, there's still business to attend to here.
100%.
And a guy like Sean Payton will certainly recognize that. You're right. 6 seconds left. Denver has 1 timeout remaining. Quick hitter, maybe try to set up a field goal or get out of bounds, sure. Back to Troy Franklin. Pick up a 7. 2 seconds left on the clock. Will Lutz, they're going to run him out. See where they spotted this football.
The 70-yard kick last week.
Yes.
You knew that some coaches were going to see if their kicker could do it too.
From the 46-yard line is the spot.
This is big for Will
64.
Lutz.
This is some Matt Prater stuff right here. For Will Lutz. Career long is 60 and can't curve it home. Looked like it was short and off to the right. And that's how the first half comes to an end here in Denver, and that's virtually the only thing that didn't go the Broncos' way.
And Lutz wanted that for his confidence for the rest of the season, to show his teammates and coaches they can do this. And he gets to learn, like all of us who shot a pitching wedge, you got to tune it in a little bit more, and that's what the preseason's for. Dial in your details and your techniques.
But valuable reps, just trying to get to be set up in that position. You might be in that same scenario, end of half, end of game, in 22 days from now when the Tennessee Titans are in town.
One of the things about our Super Bowl 50 team, we won at that time the most games within 3 points than anyone else in the NFL.
There you go. Down to Cynthia. Back in Empower Field at Mile High. Denver, Colorado, and it's all Broncos here. Final game around this week 2 of the NFL on this Saturday night. 24-7, Denver enjoying the lead. I'm Steve Levy with Ryan Harris, Super Bowl 50 champion. Scotty Gaines and Cynthia Freeland with us on the broadcast as well. I mean, I think just about everything went right there for Denver in the first half.
It did. I mean, offensively, you had explosion, and the points were scored by multiple players. Quarterback played well in Jarrett Stidham. Then also defensively, he gave up 1 score and then shut everything down for the rest of the game so far. So everybody has improved from week 1.
Broncos had a 97-yard scoring drive, explosive, and everybody getting involved. Some of the highlights, and again, there were many to choose from here.
Well, these are highlights and confidence plays. R.J. Harvey getting to walk into the end zone. Troy Franklin with 1 of 2 touchdowns in the half, a player that everybody had questions about coming into this season. No more questions, he says. I'm getting points. And then you get other players who are fighting for jobs. Jaleel McLaughlin showing that toughness, and then Tyler Bidet and Blake Watson really accelerating and separating themselves from everyone else by the way they could catch the football. But this is all because Jarrett Stidham is executing at a high, high level. He doesn't think this game doesn't matter. He understands what it means to his teammates. And Jarrett Stidham leading the way for the victory so far.
Stidham unbelievable, 16 of 23, 240 and the 2 touchdowns. First half stats sponsored by Verizon. The Denver Broncos are powered by Verizon 5G. So, you know what jumps out to me there? We don't even have a category for turnovers. There weren't any.
That's incredible. Both defenses not getting the hands on the football. No doubt that was a coaching point for the Broncos going in. Hey guys, last week at this time, we had 3 turnovers in the half. What are you doing? Let's get our hands on some footballs, turn this game, and seal this deal.
Again, these coaches, they're going to find something to be angry or at least not happy about, but it'll be tough for Sean Payton. Kickoff, get a kick return straight ahead. It's Bidet out beyond the 30-yard line. And here is the aforementioned Scotty Gange.
All right, Steve. You know, I tell you, being down on the sideline today, it is so much different at this moment right now than it was last week in Santa Clara. It's almost like a party down here. When the Broncos are making plays, the guys are going crazy. Of course, they're up 24-7. The starters are having a great time. It's awesome to see whether they're wearing shoulder pads or those little sleeveless hoodies that all the starters are wearing on the sideline. Everybody's having fun. It's just great vibes down here, fellas.
Stidham's arm's got to be tired. I mean, right? Let's give him a break.
He's saying, Coach, I can keep playing.
Sam Ehlinger checks in to open up quarter number 3. Wants to throw and throws into a pile of Cardinal red. A host of Cardinals there to make the tackle. And that's going to go as a loss of 5. And Ehlinger put it into Blake Watson's hands. It goes as a completed pass, but that's about it. And see the numbers on Sam Ehlinger from a week ago against the 49ers. And that's one of the questions, buddy. Should Denver keep a third quarterback as they did a season ago with Zach Wilson?
Well, you do want your quarterback familiar with the formations and things like that. But talking to coaches around the NFL, they sometimes keep that third spot open for a quarterback that they didn't see that may be getting let go from a team that has some depth there at the quarterback position.
Here's Blake Watson for a pickup of 5, and one of the offensive linemen got just bowled over. I think Nick Gargiulo got just bowled over by the Cardinals defensive front there.
They're coming out back-to-back screen plays. It's unusual offensively, especially with a new quarterback in. Typically you want to run the football, let them get into the pace of the game, but Ehlinger getting some early action here.
3rd down and 10 from the 33. Cardinals look like they're going to send some heat. Arizona, 41 sacks last season, ranked 13th in the NFL. There is the pressure. Ehlinger trying to get away. He swung around. A flag comes in at the end. He got back to the 30. Benton Whitley brought him down, but there's a flag back at midfield.
And I think our day one, Caleb Lohner, is going to have drawn the penalty here. Nobody knows how to cover.
Contact. Defense, number 26. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's on Jamie Robinson, 3rd-year player out of Florida State.
And Robinson, 5'11", going against the 6'7" Caleb Lohner. He was absolutely with his hands on that man. Everybody would be.
Lohner played 52 snaps of college football. That's it. And the Broncos still took a flyer on him. 7th-round draft pick out of Utah.
Love what Coach said about him too. I told the coaches, don't tell me what he can't do. That's how good of an athlete he is. I want to know what he can do, and let's grow him in this game.
Blake Watson is the first man through. The ball carrier picks up 3. And so when you think Sean Payton and drafting a guy like Caleb Lohner, the comparison is to Jimmy Graham, right? A tight end who had some kind of basketball career. Payton said that Lohner was far better basketball player than Graham even could imagine he was.
Yep. He said he watched more basketball film on Lohner than actual football film as well. That's the depth that George Payton and Sean Payton go through in evaluating
Offense
the players.
Number 84, 10-yard penalty, 15-second down.
There's your boy Lohner on the hold.
And so here's a look at Caleb Lohner playing some hoops. Just range all day. Whoop, a little turnaround. If you can do that on 3rd and 9, that's great too. Get up there. Also at 6'7", can he catch 11-foot football? That's what I want to know.
5 seasons of college basketball, 2 at BYU, 2 at Baylor, 1 at Utah. I mean, like big-time basketball programs. He made 4 catches on the season in his 1 year of college football. All were for touchdowns.
And that's what got him drafted.
Audric Estime is in now for Denver on 2nd and 17. Throw out to the left. Jawan Newton makes the grab. Rookie, undrafted free agent out of Toledo, a rocket. And we'll start to see some of the bottom of the roster wide receivers now for the Broncos. The top 6 appear to be all in good standing. Sherfield, Franklin, Bryant, Sutton, Vele, Mims. That's actually numerical order. And then is there a 7th wide receiver who could make this team?
They're going to have to play on special teams too. That's why I like a Michael Bandy or Courtney Jackson.
Yep. Jackson's been the main return man tonight. Here's Ellinger throwing. Nice throw, and it's Joaquin Davis makes the grab. 2nd year rookie out of, beg your pardon, out of North Carolina Central. He's got great speed and leaping ability.
Davis here getting that speed upfield and the separation, stopping on a dime, rounding that hoop as they call it. Davis has had a phenomenal camp, to the point where I thought maybe coaches might try and hide him a little bit in the preseason, get him on the practice squad.
He's been dealing with a hand injury, but his hands look to be just fine there. Estime, the ball carrier, back to the line of scrimmage.
Hopefully Estime is just focusing on the next play, but right now you get a run like that after seeing what Bidet and Watson have been doing. You want to break one for 60 yards to say, hey.
That's got to be in your head. How could it not? That's human nature.
Well, you got to train yourself and be a pro. Just the next play. Hey, I can't control what opportunities I get, but I can control my effort, my vision, and my technique. That's where Audric Estime has to live right now.
Broncos just beyond midfield. On 2nd down and 8. Another opportunity. Estime, good run, 1st down, there is a flag. Owen Papo made the stop for Arizona. It's a gain of 9 if it stands.
False start on receiver, I believe.
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 84 did not come set after the players were in motion. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's your basketball player again.
2nd penalty in 4 plays, but hey, he's young. Okay, I had back-to-back penalties in my first preseason game. I was getting cut that next morning.
What happened?
We set the record for fewest sacks allowed that year. Top 5 offense in both categories.
They were probably bad calls against you.
100%. You know, refs are getting used to seeing again now that they're in the preseason. You know,
they want to put it on the young guy too, right? 2nd and 13. Ellinger back at the 45, quick out to the right, hits Newton again, will be swung around just back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play.
You could tell Sam Ehlinger wants to throw the football. We got to see him a couple years ago in Indianapolis. I think they had 6 quarterbacks that preseason, if I remember correctly. Ehlinger's got that arm, can make throws, and he wants to show that he's got the arm talent to be a backup quarterback here in the NFL.
Big-time star at Texas. He actually left college with the 4th most total touchdowns in Big 12 history. Trying to catch on here with the Broncos. 3rd and 13. Arizona brings lots of pressure, and Ehlinger can't get out of it. Pocket collapsed around him, and he is brought down by a host of Cardinals.
A little bit of a blitz 0 look, and this left side, on your left side, this player lets you know that it's open to the left. Caleb Lohner was out there, but Ehlinger didn't see it.
Scotty, take it away.
All right, fellas. You know, Jeremy Crawshaw, growing up in Australia, he worked at McDonald's. Of course, in Australia, they call it Macca's. Macca's. I didn't know this, and I said, well, are you ever going to work at McDonald's again? He goes, no, I think if this football thing seems to be working out, so I think I'm doing just fine. Won't have to go back to McDonald's.
I can confirm the Macca's thing.
No way.
Doing the Super Bowl in Australia, everybody, every commercial is for Macca's.
That's not good.
I'm loving it. What do you mean?
I'm loving it too. Stay original.
Can a brother get a Big Mac? I think they call it something else, actually. Tonight's coverage is sponsored in part by Breckenridge Distillery. Breckenridge Bourbon Whiskey, the official bourbon of the Denver Broncos. Shop your local Colorado retailers for Breckenridge's limited edition Broncos Bourbon Whiskeys and Broncos Vodka. joined by 9 News Broncos insider, the one and only Mike Kliss.
What's going on?
How we doing?
How you doing, guys? You guys are doing great.
Good. Happy to see you. Usually we get you in the 3rd preseason game, and you correctly predict all 53 spots of the roster. Good botched snap there. Good job by Toon to just hang on to it, then gets rid of it. Underneath, the catch is made for a short gain. That's Votolik, the tight end for Arizona. Smith made the stop, Keydron Smith. So where do you want to start? We were joking that Sean Payton's going to be hard-pressed to find anything to be angry about after that first half.
Yeah, he's going to have to start erasing from that 17-point list that he was talking about. But, you know, I think this team with expectations, they've shown it in training camp. They've shown it in the joint practices. They've shown it so far in 2 preseason games with two decisive games here, 2 decisive wins. Bo Nix looked a little shaky last week in the preseason game, but he bounced back with a terrific joint practice against the Cardinals. He was throwing the ball with authority, downfield, you know, the 18 to 20-yard middle routes, the sideline routes. That's the best Bo's look, so he's ready to go.
He's got some new weapons. What do you think that offensively Ingram and Sherfield add to this Broncos roster?
Well, Ingram definitely showed, you know, he was the lone starter tonight, and he was overqualified with that 158-yard catch and run. He's really going to have something. Sherfield is making the team. He'll be one of the backup receivers and a standout special teamer.
Toon on the run and throwing and completing to Michael Carter. Good short tackling by the Broncos to make sure he doesn't get to the line to gain.
And then tonight you saw Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant. Those guys are making their move for that number 2. Didn't see Marvin Mims tonight. He'll probably start as number 2. He'll be kind of a jack of all trades.
He's got that speed.
Speed, but I tell you, Franklin's come a long way. He's been the most improved player this year.
Had a terrific camp. And yeah, great. And it doesn't seem to matter who the quarterback is for Franklin. Everybody knows about his affiliation with Nix in Oregon, and obviously with Stidham, it's been great as well. Gillikin punts it away. Courtney Jackson still trying to make this team, Mike, from the 5.
Look at him.
The 20, 25. Took a big hit at the 29. If he could have shaken that last Cardinal, that could have turned into something big, but Michael Carter got in the way. More with 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss when we come back. Ramos, medical doctor and attorney. If you've been injured in an accident, visit ramoslaw.com. Ramos Law, what makes us different, makes us better. Back with Mike Kliss, 9 News Broncos insider, and so you've been covering this team for, was it 40 years, you said?
Yeah, I look like it, but it's actually been 21.
Just 21. Yeah. This has to be among the tougher jobs for any Broncos GM. There just seems to be depth in every position group here.
This year there's more depth than they've had, which is, you know, Sean Payton, George Payton have rebuilt this team slowly but surely. And you're 10-7, made the playoffs last year, and then they went out and made some key acquisitions. You know, on defense, you got Greenlaw, Hufanga, then you got Ingram on offense, Sherfield and Dobbins.
Gargiulo is down on the field right now.
Does not look good. Send up your prayers.
We'll be back. October 5, 2014. He had 226 yards receiving on 8 catches, set a Broncos receiving record previously held by the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp. Scored 2 touchdowns with 31 and 86 yards. Actually had a 77-yard touchdown called back, which would have placed him in the top 3 performance of all time. Demaryius will be inducted into the Broncos Ring of Fame this season, and these are live pictures now of what's going on the field here. All of the Broncos out at midfield, and a lot of the Cardinals sending their best wishes to Nick Gargiulo, the offensive line player, first-year player out of South Carolina.
Got rolled up on, blocking somebody else, so doing his job, getting injured, and it's brutal because when you're playing, Steve, you're not thinking about injuries. You're playing as hard as you can. All of a sudden, everything sounds different. You're thinking different things, and prayers up for Gargiulo.
And you knew it was bad immediately. I've never seen a cart faster onto an NFL field than what we just saw.
Never.
Everybody knew.
They usually want to give a player every chance they can to get off the field themselves. And you got to think about for the family members too, right? I mean, you got family in the stands. They see that cart come out. They're concerned. They're going down right now to the locker room to go meet him.
And around the country, watching on 9 News, the NFL Network tonight. So we'll be thinking about Nick, the entire Gargiulo family, and certainly if we get a report and hopefully get some good news before we go off the air tonight from Cynthia or Scotty, we will pass it along to you. Caden Prescorn on the receiving end of that Ellinger pass picks up 12 yards there. And Broncos trying to go fast here with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter, already leading 24-7. And Caleb Lohner gets his hands on the football, using his hands for good things there as opposed to bad and penalties and crime.
He always hangs on to the ball. You know, he did it in basketball. He's doing it on the NFL field now too.
He's going to be an interesting guy on the roster because 7th round draft pick, but definitely a project. You know, he's a developmental guy. If you knew he could go to the practice squad and clear waivers, that might be what he really needs.
Yep. Learn the game.
But will he clear waivers? And that's a lot of the decisions they make on the 53 is who can clear the waivers.
Mike Kliss is joining us in the booth. Jalen Jones of Arizona is now being attended to. We'll be right back.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Ryan Harris, I'm Steve Levy. 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss stays with us here in the booth. I think when you last left us at the end of preseason last year, you said this team would be 6-11 or 11-6.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a prediction, by the way. Really going out on a limb there.
Yeah, that's right.
Quick hitter, giving to the first man through. Courtney Jackson down the sideline and inside the 20. Another player trying to make this talented Denver team. Jamie Robinson finally tracks him down after the gain of 30 yards. Big picture nationally, people are talking about the Broncos like they haven't in maybe 10 years since they last won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely a playoff contender, and Sean Payton ain't stopping there. He's saying Super Bowl contender and thinks this team can go all the way. Said that Bo can be a top 4 to 5 quarterback in a year or two. And, of course, as it gets repeated, the year or two gets dropped, and they just say 4 or 5 quarterbacks, so you look at them a little differently. But Bo's obviously the key, and, you know, the stalwarts that they added on defense, they should be a top 1, 2, 3 defense.
Talking about that defense, Vance Joseph is going to be a head coach again, likely because of how he's coached these guys. What's been different this year with Greenlaw and Hufanga back there in practice, as you've heard it?
Yeah, Greenlaw, when he was in there, he really made a difference. The problem is he hasn't been in there a whole lot. He, retweaked that quad, and he's been out for quite a bit. And Sean Payton said he hopes to have him back this week, even putting on the pads one time. I don't think you'll see him in the preseason at all, not next week against New Orleans, but should be ready by Tennessee. Just the physical, intimidating presence he brings to the defense, I think, is going to help.
And it's really all connected, right? Like, everybody needs to understand, if your defense is even better, it was already a good unit a year ago. Yeah. If they're even better, that means that defense is going to get the offense, the football back more often and shorter fields, and that'll only help Bo Nix in the offense.
And vice versa. I mean, when the offense has the ball, chances are you can't score on the Denver defense. So he wants a running game to go with it, right? A running game is the defense's, not only the quarterback, but the defense's best friend, because it keeps them off the field. They've got the pass rush if Benito is healthy. You hope he's healthy after that bone spur in his foot. and Zach Allen is back, and of course they got Surtain locking people down in the backfield. I mean, it's on paper, it's all there. It might take them a couple. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes them a couple weeks to mesh, because they've had some guys down.
When's Benito getting paid? I'm waiting for you to break that contract story.
You know,
got
his
the numbers yet, the years and the dollars?
You know, his agent is the same one that Surtain has, and Surtain got his deal done 4 days before the start of the regular season. So that's what I'll predict for Benito. He'll get it a couple days before the start of the regular
season. And the Broncos have done these things quietly, right?
And
Sutton extension.
And that's really the culture that the Broncos have built.
The Zach Allen extension.
Yep. And not only that, but bringing over those key players for good deals. And that Courtland Sutton deal, that's a team-friendly deal as well. But, you know, Mike.
Start. Offense number 68, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Rare to have a penalty on number 68, but that's now the 9th penalty of the night. But
Mike, that was your number? Is that why?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah. It's sharp, intelligent. Yep. Mike, there's a couple questions offensively. How many quarterbacks do you think Sean Payton's going to keep, and how many running backs? That's really going to shape up this roster.
You know, I think they got a chance of keeping 4 running backs. I think they want to keep Bidet and Jaleel. And that would make it tough for Ellinger to make it, and you hope you can keep him on the practice squad. We'll see.
Will Lutz from 35, and the Broncos will add their lead 27-7 now. And we'll let you go, Mike. We appreciate all the time, but we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks,
Break
guys.
down the 53-man roster.
We'll give it a shot.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, guys.
6 or 11 or 11-6.
Yeah, I'll go 11-6 straight this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good
Big
call.
risk there, Mikey. Big risk. Mike Kliss was my personal Howard Cosell when I played here.
Wow, quite a statement.
Anytime he'd come in the locker room, I'd say, "What are you doing, Mike Kliss? Get out of here." It's been fun to have this relationship, Mikey.
Look at the deals that we have been talking about. And again, we talk about the Broncos doing it quietly. That's opposed to what's going on in D.C. with Terry McLaurin, and Dallas, Micah Parsons, Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson. It's a different world out there. And the Broncos, that's credit to George Payton and ownership and all those things.
One of the things, too, that you are doing is you're teaching younger players on your roster that if they perform, they're going to stay here. And a lot of times teams will end up chasing a younger player to save literally, 2 or 3% on a contract, and it's not the same guy. And if you're the Broncos, one of the great things you can say, you don't need anybody at any position. You got the tight end, you got the middle linebacker, you got too many running backs. So it's a good problem to have if you're the Broncos.
Weaver on the return. Here's Scotty Gage.
Hey guys, I did interview Nick Benito about his extension maybe a week ago, soon after Courtland Sutton signed his. I said, do you feel like you're next? How are the vibes going? How are you feeling about that? He said, oh, it's all up to my agent, but I do know I love it here. And I remember last year when the Broncos got knocked out of the playoffs in Buffalo, Nick Benito was crying tears of sadness in the locker room during our interview. He loves Denver. He loves this team, his teammates, his coaches. So I'm with Mike. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that extension quickly and before the season begins.
The NFL Network on their crawl, they ran their top 100 players today, and Nick Benito was 37th, and Micah Parsons was 35th. I mean, that's how close a lot of people view those two players.
Well, Nick Benito's a better player all around. And Micah Parsons, make no mistake about it, he is a prolific pass rusher. No one's taken that from him. And he does not want to play the run. Nick Benito, on the other hand, he plays the run. He can rush the passer. Got 3 straight pressures last week, one of them ending in a sack. And oh, by the way, he had a pick 6 last season. I mean, I didn't see Micah Parsons do that. And that's, again, where it looks good. Micah Parsons, a big name. Bring him in. He's also been a headache for that organization. You got a guy who's quietly doing his work, getting better after being drafted by the Broncos. Nick Benito's done everything right.
Speaking of Benito, there's a sack. Good job, Jordan Turner getting home. Rookie out of Michigan State, undrafted free agent. And I think that was based on the coverage. Excellent coverage. And Toon had nowhere to go with it. Loss of 7 on the play.
Still got to get him down. And for Turner, this is one of those plays that, to me, he makes this play, he's going to make a few more now. Now he understands to trust himself and to trust his eyes. I expect him to make a couple more plays before the evening's over.
I think the Broncos practice squad is going to be something to see.
Well, there's going to be a lot of teams picking guys off that roster.
That's the biggest compliment you can get. Toon under pressure, just got it away before he was dropped. Michael Carter out to the 36-yard line. Cynthia Freeland down on the field.
So maybe this guy Micah Parsons in a contract that also has some question marks, let's call it that. Look, his pressure percentage last year, 19.1% per Next Gen stat. It was the best in the National Football League despite missing games. So wherever he lands, whatever happens, maybe Micah Parsons would be, you know, a lot of fun to hang out with.
There's no doubt about that.
He'd be fun to hang out with. And everybody gave Sean Payton some grief for saying he wants to win a Super Bowl. How about this? You got one of the best defensive ends saying Broncos have a real chance at the Super Bowl. So don't get mad at him too.
Wow.
And this is now something we've heard echoed, though, from Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. They said, I wanted to come here because of the defense and because Bo Nix. They had a young...
And the head coach and the ownership. It's all rolling together now.
When you have a great ownership group that lets you do the things to win championships, re-sign key players, and bring in marquee additions, you have a real shot. And getting over that hump, getting over that Chiefs hump in the season and getting that first playoff berth. Oh, by the way, Micah Parsons, no playoff games.
And everything becomes a bigger deal with the Dallas Cowboys are involved, and Jerry Jones and company there.
Offense number 71, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
When I joined INT, I never thought it would be like this.
We rotated the tires, topped off the wiper fluid, and oh, here's your withdrawal.
Oh, wow, thank you.
At Ant Credit Union, we go all in for all our members.
Coming, Elsie.
Elsie! Hey! Hi, I'm going!
First down and 20 for Arizona. Clayton Tune unloads. Pickup of 4 on the play. Bryson Green hits the stat sheet. Rookie out of Wisconsin. Undrafted free agent.
A lot of undrafted free agents making plays out here for the Broncos. Let you know your scouting department is nailing it. Back to that statement Scotty said about Nick Bonito, tears of pain there when they lost in Buffalo last year in the playoffs. You need that experience, because what happens when you get in the playoffs in the NFL, you realize it's 1 or 2 plays. Oh, coach talked about that. I didn't think that detail was important. That's why it's so frustrating when you lose in the playoffs. Now you go back, you get back there this year for the Broncos. Nick Bonito, he understands he's going to be keyed in, doing everything right for the full 4 quarters, maybe 5 if it takes it.
Yeah, that playoff game got away from Denver. Actually scored the opening touchdown at a 7-0 lead, but the Broncos would not score again. And you mentioned Kansas City, and head coach Sean Payton has said, look, if we could have somehow gotten past Buffalo, we were not afraid of seeing the Chiefs next in the AFC playoffs. And again, Payton said we have full respect for the Chiefs, who have won the division 9 consecutive years, but it doesn't appear they're afraid of Kansas City anymore. And that would have been interesting to see. And the 2 regular season games will be great when the Broncos and Chiefs get together. That pass looked like it was batted at the line of scrimmage, and then Green can't hang on to that knuckleball. I think that was deflected at the line with 12 seconds to play in this 3rd quarter.
Back to that matchup against the Chiefs. I mean, that's a real thing. I know fans are saying, how can you be afraid of a team? You're a professional as well. The truth is, you go out and you see Patrick Mahomes, it's different when you hear him talking. It's different when you try and make that tackle and he doesn't act and he gets rid of that football, and you try your best football play and you can't get your hands on him. So it's a big thing. We had to get over the New England Patriots when I played. That was a team you knew you were going to see him at least once, if not twice, if you wanted to win a Super Bowl. Chiefs are the same way.
Gillikin the punt, Bandy the fair catch, and you want to get ready to circle stuff like those Kansas City games.
You always want to start off fast here. You want to get some games early on, but this is the part of the schedule to me that is just a gauntlet. I mean, you get Kansas City in there, at Washington, at Las Vegas. I mean, that's a tough stretch. And earlier in the season too, these 2 games, you're going to know who the Broncos are right here. You go 2-0 against those 2 teams, you can win a Super Bowl.
Like that start, though, right? Tennessee at Indy at the Chargers. It's an opportunity to get off to a good start going into those 2 very difficult games.
And talking about teams you're not afraid of, how about the Broncos taking Cincinnati to overtime last year on the road? That was an impressive win. It was an impressive play, even though they lost the game.
Cardinals able to swallow up another loss there for Estime, loss of 3 on the play. And that takes us to the end of third quarters. It's all Broncos, just like last week at Santa Clara. Here at home tonight, Denver leads Arizona. Demaryius Thomas is going to take his rightful place in the Broncos Ring of Fame. He'll go with the 2025 class, third leading receiver of all time, 5-time Pro Bowler. There'll be a special ceremony Week 7 when the Giants are here October 19th. That'll be during Alumni Weekend, part of a larger celebration of the 10th anniversary of Denver's Super Bowl 50 season, which my partner Ryan Harris was such an important part of. And so there'll be so much emotion involved there.
Yep, we miss him. And the greatest teammate you could ever have. The only receiver I played with that never complained for the ball.
Right, the traditional diva position, but that's not who he was.
And he started his career with an injury. People were questioning whether or not he would even play in the NFL. And to put together the career he had was just remarkable. Here you're going to see the arm of Sam Ehlinger just firing it to Michael Bandy. Bandy needing to get some catches because everybody knows he can return kicks. But can you play receiver if we need you to? He says yes. Back to Demaryius Thomas, though, just one of the greatest people to be around. We make sure no one was sleeping in meetings by throwing sunflower seeds at your head if you were dozing off, and just one of the greatest teammates ever.
It's nice when the superstars in our game are also championship people.
Oh, he absolutely was. And one of the plays that comes to mind for me, we were playing Detroit the year we won the Super Bowl. He's on the left side of the field. The catch goes to the right. He flies downfield to make a block at the 10-yard line. Not a lot of wide receivers are doing that when they don't get the ball. He was an advocate for everyone on his team, always smiled, and gave a lot back to the community, hosting kids for Christmas and things like that. So taught us all how to be a good human being.
I was going to say, get your tickets to try to be. Games are sold out. Every game is sold out here.
You might know a guy, Steve.
Yeah, I know a guy. I know you. Hopefully you know a few guys. He'll be on the field. Great throw by Ehlinger, but just enough air on it. Look at that confident nod right there. Able to hook up with Caden Prescorn, another interesting prospect, rookie out of Ole Miss, 25 years old, good for 21 yards.
Prescorn making the catch through traffic, and you said it, Steve, a perfect ball from Ehlinger. Just making, he understands where that linebacker is, but that's that experience he had in college and putting together his pro career. He knows he can make that throw if he puts some elevation in the ball.
And Prescorn showing some ability to do multiple things. Courtney Jackson on the run. We've seen him big in the return game. Makes the catch on the wide receiver screen, but Prescorn even last week was almost used like a fullback in the backfield for run plays. We've seen that again here tonight.
Watch this block here by Bandy. That's what opens up that sideline.
Excellent point.
And you got to have receivers who can block. We just talked about Demaryius Thomas doing the same thing. Bandy saying there's no job too small. Give the ball to anybody you want as long as I'm on the field.
Sean Payton loves wide receivers who will block. I'm sure every single head coach does in the NFL, but it seems to be our priority.
It takes a play from 6 yards to 16 yards, easy.
And the stuff that not everyone sees that shows up in the film room and his teammates will notice. There's Michael Bandy, took a shot after picking up another first down for the Broncos.
He's smiling because he knows he's doing exactly what he needed to have happen in this game. He's got 2 catches, 2 big blocks, had another one earlier in this half. A guy like Bandy, he's trying to catch his breath right now because his dreams are right there. He can almost touch them.
Ehlinger following Stidham, going 11 of 12 for 113. A nice touch on his long tosses tonight as well. Handoff is Watson trying to pick some holes and bounce it outside. That'll go as a loss. Handful of Cardinals were all there on the defense.
And you see a difference. Watson having some explosive plays earlier on with some second string linemen who are likely making the team. Now you put the 3s in, there's a little more missed blocks. It's not as clear. So it's tough for these running backs to make a name for themselves later in the preseason game because there's a lot of players trying to do that without the experience that you need at that offensive line position.
2nd and 12, red zone opportunity for the Broncos to add to their 20-point lead. Good pocket for Ehlinger, now breaks down. shifts the ball to his left hand. He'll scamper out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Forced out by Xavier Thomas. He's kind of a bubble player. Cardinals spent a 5th-round draft pick on him last year out of Clemson. He's been strictly a pass rusher and makes a play there.
Can't be a specialist in the NFL unless you're a punter or kicker. And too many young players think they can come in the NFL and do what they were best at in college. You have to be an all-around player. You're going to be used as a production machine, as a deception machine. They're going to use you in all kinds of ways. You have to be able to do it all.
3rd down and 8. Broncos want to run with Audric Estime inside the 10. Going to bring up a 4th down. Echo Boydo there for Arizona.
Small gain, but a good play for Audric Estime, the Notre Dame graduate. Bounces off of one would-be tackler, takes on 3 more, hangs onto the football. You want those explosive plays, but you also want to show you can do the little things if you're Audric Estime.
Broncos are taking their time now. 10 minutes to play, 4th quarter, up by 20. And on 4th down and 4, they're going to go for it. They're good in the kicking game. Confident in Will Lutz's ability. And let's see. Timeout taken.
Looks like Davis Webb is calling some of the plays down on the field, and the quarterback's coach starting to get some opportunities to call the plays.
Yeah, last week Joe Lombardi called it for Sean Payton. And speaking of Davis Webb, you didn't know his BFF was. We found out this week it's Evan Ingram.
Yep. Just they got drafted together at the Giants, stayed friends, lived right next to each other. It's funny who you become friends with in the NFL, but now Davis Webb, a coach, and Evan Ingram still a player. So having the better career, Evan Ingram, but always fun to have familiarity when you walk in a building. Evan Ingram had that, and Coach Webb.
The text from Webb to Ingram was, "You like mountains?" And here we are, Mile High. Broncos preseason wraps up next Saturday. Denver will roll into the Big Easy, take on the New Orleans Saints. Pregame coverage starts early. It's like wake up at Wimbledon. 10:30 a.m. Special edition of Broncos Tonight, hosted by Scotty Gage and Mike Kliss, followed directly by kickoff at 11 a.m. And Scotty and Mike have the postgame show immediately following the game. Early start from Louisiana next week. On 4th down and 4 on the run, Ellinger, and unable to secure it was Newton. It's a turnover on downs.
I like that play call. I like going for it right there. Give all your players a nice opportunity at the situation, and also figure out what play that you like best. Ellinger doing his best. A little bit of time left to seal this win.
Tonight's 4th quarter is powered by Common Spirit Health. 20 hospitals and 240 clinics to serve you, and the official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. There's Tyrone Braxton getting his hands on the Lombardi.
The joy of touching the greatest trophy in sports. You know what? It's cold, Steve. I don't know if you put it in a freezer or something. You touch it after the game and you're like, oh man, I got frostbite.
It's not heavy though, right? It can't be heavy.
It's heavy. It took me 9 years and 8 surgeries, brother.
That kind of heavy.
That kind of heavy.
I get that. Bam Knight carries the ball for the Arizona Cardinals. And this is a tricky point of these games, right? These preseason games. Week 2 of the preseason. I think you're playing out games out of not in doubt anymore, really, with a 20-point lead, 9 minutes left. But there are guys who are playing for their football lives, to play either somewhere else or some who may never put on the pads and helmet again.
Yeah, the next jersey they're going to put on is at their softball league, and it's tough. A lot of guys are figuring that out right now, where, hey, the best I can do is just not good enough. Not the defense for the Broncos.
And that's why you want to keep piling up plays. You were talking about Turner, Jordan Turner making another play. And there it is. What you also want to do is avoid injury. Loss of 7 on the play. And the injured Bronco is Garrett Nelson, first-year player out of Nebraska, and he'll be attended to.
With Jordan Turner making another play, sometimes it's like baseball, right? Guy doesn't get a hit, he gets 1, and now he's getting 3 in the next 2 innings. And that's where Jordan Turner is right now, playing fantastic at linebacker. Coaches love him, talking about him as well.
Bam Knight is also shaken up for Arizona. Conference. Sean Payton, hey, what'd you like? What didn't you like? It'll probably start with a list of injuries and guys who are banged up tonight, and starting to add up a few names here tonight now.
What you don't know as an injured player, too, how close was I, Coach? Was I on the roster? Was I close to making it? Had you already decided? You really don't know where to go even when you do get healthy eventually as well.
That Nick Gargiulo one, that looked the worst. We'll get an update there. Nick was on the practice squad a year ago. Obvious pain. The Card instantly on the field. All the players out to meet him, and so can only hope for the best there. DJ Dallas gets the carry there for Arizona as the clock winds towards 8 minutes, and we are wearing out Blake Gillikin, the punter for the Cardinals.
He doesn't want to face the Broncos in the regular season. He'll tell you that right now. Sometimes in the preseason, you get a veteran punter. He'll come over and say, come on, man, you guys got to score more.
Jerwan Newton gets his first shot back at a punt return. Catches at the 35, cuts to the left, gets the 40, and up to midfield, rather in the middle of the field, and stop. Second-round pick from the University of Central Florida. Started playing football at the age of 5. Dual-threat quarterback in high school.
I was going to mention it if you didn't. That screams Sean Payton to me all day. A little red zone play.
How's your 4.3 GPA? We're cool with that, too. Went 21-5 in high school, 48 touchdowns. Rushed for nearly 3,800 yards and 48 touchdowns at UCF. And started the football game tonight. A couple of big plays. And more on the subject from Scotty Gage.
Yeah, guys, RJ told us a funny story from his draft night the other day. He said he was eating ribs, macaroni, beans, having the time of his life. His mom said, don't start eating, don't eat. A team's going to call you. The second he had a whole mouthful of food, the Denver Broncos give him a call, and he was getting drafted soon after that.
I asked him if he's really 5'8". Does your driver's license really say 5'8"?
You can't ask him that.
And he said, yes, he's really 5'8". You know, they always lie on the program.
Yeah.
They make you taller and not as heavy, right?
You talking about Kyler Murray? What's going on? No, yeah. No, and I tell you what, I think R.J. Harvey's the happiest player in the NFL. I mean, he smiled through our entire interview.
Yes.
And as Scotty mentioned, he had that mouthful of food. The play there is to spit out the food. I don't care where, hopefully you're near a garbage can, but Denver Broncos, NFL team calls the draft, you spit the food out and get after it, get on that phone.
We asked Harvey about a player he might lean on, and of all the players he could choose from, he said Michael Burton, the fullback, has been his guy.
Michael Burton.
And I found that interesting. Burton's out with a hamstring injury.
Yep, former Super Bowl champion, always Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. Future broadcaster as well. I was one of the instructors, and he came around, and he can call a football game. So really? He's holding off his career, but it also tells you something about R.J. Harvey, that he's asking veterans. And he said that together, that with Burton, they will walk through all the plays before practice. That's a tremendous gift that Burton's giving R.J. Harvey. Burton's a veteran. He knows what it takes to win week 26 in the NFL, and here he is helping out a young rookie. And that's the caliber of character that the roster is built with. Sean Payton and George Payton have put together not just a roster of athletes who can play, but quality people who are going to help lift this team to a new level.
During the play, both by the defense. Pass interference, number 26. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 28. That penalty will be accepted 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I can't blame Ron Torber for losing his voice tonight either. He's getting a workout.
Talking a lot. Top of your screen, that's where the face mask was. Excellent job by the referees to see it. But this late in the game, this is where threes and fours are getting in, and some of the lies they told themselves didn't do the work.
Yeah.
Showing up.
Guess the officials are getting graded too, aren't they?
I wish they were, Steve. I wish they were. Sean Payton probably does too. You know, him, the famous no call, and the Saints. He talked to us. He thought that group was really going to win a Super Bowl championship, and he told us he thinks this group can. It has the talent. And one of the things I love as a former player hearing, everybody says they want to win a Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. Every single Bronco player we talked to said, now we got to go earn it. We have to go earn it. And that's the exact mentality you have to have. You can't just declare yourself a champion. You have to prove it over the course of the season.
Peyton had a great analogy in talking about after he's already won the Super Bowl, you want to do it for other people. And the analogy was, he said, it's like going to a restaurant with someone else for the first time. You've already been there, and you know it's the greatest meal. You want other people to experience and taste that meal. And he said, and it's 500 times better than you think it is. And of course, it's not a meal or a restaurant, it's winning the Super Bowl. And next week might be a little emotional. Sean back in New Orleans to preseason game, but still, and it's not just Sean, other people on his staff, like Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator for the Broncos. People might forget he was the interim head coach for the Saints for the final 9 games of last season, so something else to watch for in the final preseason game.
Well, we'll ask them where to eat, right? Ask what restaurant to go to.
I already know. You'll be there, don't you worry.
All right.
I know a guy, too.
And what Sean's talking about is when you win that Super Bowl, I mean, you've built a winning culture, and you learn 2 things. Number 1, everything you believed about yourself comes true for other people. And number 2, you learn that you have to help others on your way up. I mean, Peyton Manning did that better than anybody on offense the year we won the Super Bowl. He could do everything, and yet he knew that we had to be on the same page as him. The little meetings he would have, the extra practices, those things made a huge difference. When you win the Super Bowl, you have a team that cares about each other, cares about the craft, and will not be denied.
There's some of Peyton's thoughts on building a winning culture, draft talent, pay talent, and win with select free agents.
You want to be able to keep your roster. You want to hit on that draft, guys like Jonah Ellis and guys like Troy Franklin, but you also have to pay the players. I mean, there's no reason why Terry McLaurin doesn't have the deal he wants in Washington right now, and that is just bad operations over there, and that's not happening here.
But in Denver, he said of Cortland Sutton, you pay for character and makeup. Here's the head coach.
Obviously, it has to start with quarterback. It has to start with defense. It has to start with offensive line. Like there's certain things that if they're not on point, it's hard to make a statement like that. But when you look at some of these critical factors, and look, I told them that, and I was now. That doesn't mean, that just means you have a chance. And then I would say most importantly, ownership. Because there's 20 that each year have hope and dreams, and they're dysfunctional at the top.
The Walton Penner ownership group earning high marks all across the league, and you heard it there from the head coach, Sean Payton. Nearly a touchdown for the Broncos there. Caden Prescorn had it, but Vi Jones belted him, got the football back, and it's a touchback instead.
Coaching point is finish. You have to finish with details. And Prescorn there just really frustrated with himself right here. You don't have to go down, but get 2 hands on that football. And Mike Tomlin at the Pittsburgh Steelers says it all the time. When you carry that football, you're carrying the hopes and dreams of our team. Prescorn just forgot about it a little bit there. It's one of those coaching points. You learn it once, you don't have to learn it again, and better to do it now than against the Chargers in the season.
Elijah Jones there first, then Vi Jones, and instead of a touchdown and maybe a career lifetime highlight, it's a turnover and a touchback in Arizona football. Odd turn of events there.
And it's tough because Prescorn goes back. You know, everybody's saying, hey, keep your head up. But nobody's talking to you, right? Nobody's saying, hey, this was a great play, do this. So you kind of feel like you're alone on a bench with your teammates for a couple minutes.
And another half a yard or half a second, and it's a party. It's a celebration with your teammates, with your family. You get the football, right? The whole thing.
He probably saw it right before that ball left his hands. Got to finish.
3rd down and 8 upcoming. I'm not sure how you can console a young player like that.
Well, if you're on his team, you tell him, hey, look, man, that's one play in a list of plays you did make. So that's going to happen. How you respond matters most, though. Prescorn's going to get another chance. He's going to get back on that field. Go make a play. Don't make up for it. Go make a play.
3rd down and 8. Those still in attendance, making some noise. Coon straight drop. Flush from the pocket, rolling to his left, throwing across his body. Not even close. Looked like the official went for his flag and then in the end decided not to throw it. And it's 4th down.
Ref must be on a red-eye flight tonight. He wants to catch it. But again, fantastic coverage by the Broncos defensive backs. I think they have the best defensive backfield in the NFL right now. There'll be a lot of players who are upset because they get cut on cut day, only to be happy 12 to 24 hours later when another team picks them up.
People getting a lot of good film on Blake Gillikin. This is his 9th punt. Majority seemingly in the second half.
You got more points, less points than punts. You're not having a good game.
Oh, great point. Bandy on the return. Sure-handed. It's a 59-yard punt. So if Gillikin's leg is tired, he's not showing it. Short return for Bandy.
Well, who's going to come tell on the sideline? You can't come over there and be like, Coach, my leg's sore. You played 8-9 plays.
I love what you said earlier, and I don't think I've heard anybody say this before about the only time I want to hear about a specialist in the NFL is kicker or punter.
That's it. You can't be a specialist anywhere else.
But you hear that, right? A pass rushing specialist.
Yep.
Run stuffing specialist.
And the thing is when you get in a game, if coaches know that's your specialty, they're going to make it look like run and it's a play action pass. Right? If you're rushing the passer, now we're getting screens, we're getting draws. There's ways to call plays to get players out of what they're a specialist in. When you're an all-around player like a DeMarcus Ware, a Von Miller, I know that's the highest level, but those guys played every down, every square inch. You had to fight with your hands, your teeth, everything to try and have success against a player like that.
And conversely, at the running back spot, you want to be a 3-down back. You don't want to just come in on 3rd down for pass protection.
Yep, and it's not like college where you're breaking out the formation and there's 3 guys who can't cover on defense. That running back's going to have to sit in there against a Patrick Queen. They're going to have to sit against some of those guys.
Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Ron is earning his salary tonight.
Yep.
As for these running backs, again, we know for sure J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, and then it becomes, is it one of these 4 players? Is it maybe 2 of the 4 players the Broncos can keep? What's your final assessment of tonight? And again, we still have one more game to play next week.
Well, Jaleel McLaughlin, I thought, brought himself into the conversation tonight. He got those big rushes, had one called back as well. Tyler Bidet continues to show he can do everything you want. Blake Watson and Audric Estime, they're having tough sledding today. And you got to, and the thing with Estime, there's no catches. You got to catch the football in a Sean Payton offense at running back. So it's not enough to have good runs. You can't be a specialist like we just talked about. You have to be able to do it all.
All smiles now. What's this Broncos bench?
Huge sense of relief, right? I mean, if you're a player in this running back room, you come into this game saying, I can't fumble the ball. I have to play my best. I have to help my teammates. And then you do it. And somebody says, hey, you want some Gatorade? Like, yeah, I'd love that Gatorade. It's the best tasting Gatorade in my life, you know?
Cold, refreshing.
Oh, that no stress Gatorade, that's it. And that doesn't last now. That's going to run out here pretty soon.
Right.
There's only stress Gatorade the rest of the season.
Jamie Robinson able to walk off on his own power for Arizona. 1st down and 20 for the Broncos. Broncos will continue to chew on this clock as we approach the 2-minute warning. So next week, the plan is interesting, and you tell me. So the Broncos are going to practice tomorrow, okay, on Sunday. They're going to be off on Monday, and then it's pads Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Peyton said, I don't want to hear any complaining from anybody about pads for 3 days. And then they'll jump on a plane Friday afternoon and fly to the Big Easy.
The starters are expected to play a little bit in that 3rd preseason game.
8 to 10 snaps roughly, so we'll get another look at Bo Nix.
You know, when I was playing with Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan, those coaches, even Andy Reid, they want their starters to get that, okay, we're going into halftime, coming back out for a series. You really want to get that conditioning up and teach your players that, hey, sometimes you're going to have a great game plan to start, but it's going to change in that 3rd quarter.
2-minute warning here in Denver. It's been the Broncos ball game all night, up by 20 on the way home.
See that 2 feet in, late hands up to catch it, not giving the defensive back a chance. He is thrilled. He's having the preseason of his dreams, turning into the player they hoped he would be when they drafted him. Really coming into his own. Fun to see. 2 touchdowns in 2 quarters. That's a good night.
Denver putting it all together on offense, defense, and special teams here tonight. Inside of 2 minutes, 3rd down and 11. Ellinger out of the gun. 5 to snap it. Up by 20. And we'll throw for Ellinger across the middle. It's Blake Watson, shifts, makes people miss, stays in bounds. 1st down, Denver.
What a huge play right there by Blake Watson. Excellent read by Sam Ellinger, getting the ball out, checking it down. It's not open downfield, and this is all Watson. Woo-hoo. 1, 2, 3. Come on, boys, catch up. 4. I ran him over. So that's a play for Blake Watson that he is happy about. One last chance, 3rd and forever, but he makes it a 1st down.
Jonathan Gannon won't be happy about those 4 defenders who all had a chance.
Did they want it, though, Steve? Did they want it?
I think they want this game to end with 1:10 to play. Handoff again. It's Audric Estime across midfield. Producer of Broncos preseason football on 9 News is Doug Marino. Our director, Joel Myers. I want to thank our statistician, Rob Malone. And I feel like Barry Hockhauser's been a nice add to the show.
Barry's on the team. I like Barry. Spotter is the best job in sports, ladies and gentlemen. If you can get it, these people are fantastic, and they get the best life in sports.
I thought it was long snapper was the best job.
No way.
No?
You got to be perfect every time. Spotters, you don't have to be perfect.
A little bit. Well, maybe not on radio. We're sure to experience during the regular season. And victory formation for Denver. The Broncos will go to 2-0 for what it's worth in the preseason. They went 3-0 last year. And after hammering the 49ers last week, 30-9, Denver does the same thing to the Arizona Cardinals, 27-7 here.
You're practicing winning, practicing scoring points, practicing shutting them down on defense, and that's what these games are for. You can't say they don't mean anything and then say, oh, winning doesn't matter either. You got to practice winning, finishing the game, making the plays that make the difference. And the Broncos building on week 1 in many ways, and many more players this week having a lot more success and plays that they can talk about and smile about back in the locker room.
How many things will Sean Payton be upset about from this game?
I'm thinking 5.
He's got to manufacture some.
Each one of the false start penalties, he's going to be upset.
Can't just put that in one group and call them penalties?
You got 1 turnover now in the entire preseason, which is phenomenal. Wow. 2 games, no turnovers. You got your first one today.
He'll find something, I assure you.
And that's the job of a coach, though, especially when you have championship expectations. The thing you are beating is comfort. You do not want your players to get comfortable with success. You don't want them to be satisfied with their performance. Consistency in the NFL means constantly improving. And so you're going to find those little things on the margins to make better on your team so that you can do it without thinking weeks 16 through 19.
And the fear of the depth chart is real, and I think the coaches want that too. They want these players looking over their shoulders.
Yep.
That you're being pressed to play your best at all times, or else someone is coming to take your job, which is a day in the life in the NFL. As a player, you know that better than anyone.
And that's the lowest level of stress, right? Because if you can't handle that, how are you going to handle going in 3 games, we got to win 2, and 2 of them are against the division opponents, right?
Good point.
You got stress that's coming down the pipe here in the season that's inevitable. And if you can't handle a little competition, you can't be on a roster. Blake Watson having a phenomenal night. Sometimes too, young players, they'll have coaches from other teams come up, hey, I liked your game, good job. Maybe they're not on this roster, but another.
Down to the field, get some reaction to the game. Here's Scotty Gaines.
All right, thanks. Here with Evan Ingram. Evan, like a month ago, you told me you were so fired up to come here to Denver to play in front of fans like this, that we're so excited to have you here. How much fun was it to get the party started?
It was incredible, man. From literally us running out of the tunnel to the end of the game, it's just incredible energy. It had us going. For it to be a preseason game, for the energy to be like this, I was in awe all night. I can't wait for week 1.
It's pretty awesome. After the touchdown in the first drive, I saw you run over to Troy Franklin and just pointed at him and you dapped him up. What was that all about?
He had the block to spring me on the long run I had, long catch and run. A huge play for him. I mean, I saw it happen. That play doesn't happen without that block. So receivers, you block, the ball's going to find you. For him to score to finish the drive was awesome.
How confident are you in this unit right now?
We still got a lot of work to do. I love our energy. I love our work ethic. I love our attention to detail, but there's still a lot of things we got to clean up. And that's just our mentality is how good can we be? We just got to keep working.
Absolutely. Evan, thanks for the time. Congratulations. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Spoken like a true veteran, right?
High character, thanking the guy that blocked for him and talking about, hey, we still got work to do. Not satisfied, that legend.
Targeted one time, made the most of it. 58-yard run and catch. Final thoughts from Empower Field at Mile High when we come back.